Welcome to the close. Couple hours left in a pretty exciting day as we get back into positive territory as we head towards the final 2 hours of the session. Nicely positive, in fact, for all three U.S. markets. Here's a look at how we stand right now. 0.36 for the S&P there, 0.25% for the Dow. The NASDAQ up 0.5%. So it is tech that's leading here this afternoon. Here in Toronto, about 0.5% for the TSX as well. 2.3% for crude oil. Having a nice day. Remember, we sat down this morning in the pre-market. It was up about 0.4. We went from 0.4 to 1.4. Now we're up 2.4 on the day for crude oil. So oil stocks nicely positive. Some of these losses down here for Bitcoin and Ethereum starting to dissipate as well. There's the big board, how we stand right now. Pretty positive right across the entire thing here. Didn't have a good look at this earlier, but some weakness still in the healthcare group. Mostly pharmaceutical names, healthcare equipment makers also back in negative territory. Etsy having trouble today, 6% to the downside. Tasco there as well, also under pressure. Some of the financials were showing some strength today off of BAC, Bank of America, with a decent report today, up 4%. Citigroup following through, 4%. WFC, 2.5%. Some of the diversified financials to the downside. Schwab there, you can see Goldman offsetting though with a nice day, 3%. Tech stocks leading though, as I said. It's the hardware equipment makers, it's the semiconductors, both in positive territory. Software names under pressure. Some of the resource stocks having a pretty good day. FCX, some coal names popped up very early on this morning, still nicely higher. There's energy up there in the corner. Also, right across the board, energy stocks all nicely positive. Hope your afternoon is going well. It is going to be an interesting couple of hours here as we wrap up the first day of a brand new week. We're going to get into some earnings talk. We're going to talk about what's coming up later tonight for earnings, in fact, and later on this week as well. As we do to start things off every afternoon, we'll have a little bit of a discussion on what was available for you for opportunities this morning. Make sure you're joining us every single day in the pre-market at 8:30. We get you set for the open at 9:30. Sean was very ready for the open this morning, as he always is, and he's going to talk about one of his trades here.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, thanks for that lovely introduction there, Brendan. Yeah, we try to be ready. And actually, you know, all jokes aside, the main point is that every single morning we have watchlist.tradertv.live. We also have the sticky note that's on my Twitter at TraderTVSean. And part of it is just preparation. This one was kind of simple. I came in and I saw Brendan had a note written down that Apple, kind of a mini downgrade. Bloomberg came out, talked about their supply chain possibly being issues with parts, computer parts. They mentioned Lenovo and Dell as well. So I just kind of, very, very simple. This is a 20-minute chart here. And I just looked back, what level could maybe I find that there may be some support or resistance at? And it was right here, 165.50. So it actually coincided with Thursday's close. I almost said Friday there on a long weekend. But so what we wound up doing was, this was a crazy position. We always get into something a little crazy off the open. And honestly, we got into that just when we saw the market starting to peel back down in. And we were like, uh-oh, we're taking down the pre-market low here of 164, basically. So that's where we get our first piece in. Very, very small, but hey, this got me into the Apple game again. We wrote down on our sticky note that 165.50. Look where that line is right here. Look where Apple goes up to. So we get short again, and this is where we really start to put on the position because it comes up to our level. This is one thing that I need to do a lot better at, and that is simply waiting for key levels. And then if you miss them, you miss them. You trade something else. There's always going to be something like this every single day. So we get into the short in Apple, then obviously it comes crashing back down, and it's going to look crazy. And again, we have direct market access here, so we're not paying $4.99 a trade or anything like that. Just like you guys, anybody trading on, you know, commission-free trades can do something similar to this. As it falls back in, first couple pieces at 164.80. Remember, we're starting to capture some profit. This is really where we started to load up the position because we felt much more confident about this level over here. So as it comes back in, boom, then it really takes off. And this is where, now, as we're discussing this, I'm down. Like, I'm getting hit pretty bad here because of this move right now. Everything comes back and we're actually in the money on Apple. That's where we start getting out. But then it comes back. We're like, okay, we'll reload this. Because why? It's right back at our level again. Unfortunately, it just takes off. And I still didn't really believe in the short or in the long, unfortunately. So we had to get out when it takes out that 166.40. And again, we kind of used, there's not going to be too many levels here. But if you go back to the afternoon on Thursday, it was kind of these tops that we were a little bit nervous about. We never broke those levels. So as soon as we did, I was like, you know what? We got to get out right there. So we get that out at 166.40. But then look what winds up happening. We start seeing like some rejection of some of these tops. So we actually get back into the short, okay? Take a little bit of profit there. That's about 30 or 40 cents. It rips up, and at this point, because I'm reloaded right here, I want to take this to 167. I've already sort of appreciated that level up here. So we're going to go one level higher, and then stock market gods happen. Then it just starts falling back down. And then these start to become really just cash out, cash out, cash out. Because at this point, we only got about half of our position there, got back in. Then as it started falling, look at that next short that we take. That's a 165.50 again. So it comes right back and we're like, you know what? If I like this level, I have to like it again to the downside. Now we have momentum with us, and this is where it really, really starts to get juicy for me all the way down. Like this is a 165.50 take. These are 164 outs, right? So we're starting to take $1.30, $1.20, $1.50 on it. Then it comes back up. We're like, okay, you're right back to the 50 period. Let's take it again. Boom, all the way back down in. Keep shorting out. Then for some reason here, once we broke 165.50, and I don't have the NASDAQ here, but the NASDAQ also broke back out to the long side. So we actually flipped long right here on Apple. So we got out, we flipped long to 165.50. First out 165, next out's 165.20. Sorry, that's 164.50. Dollar out right there as we're trying to hover. So the bottom line here for the trade of the day is a couple things. One, have more patience. Wait. Do your work, right? Zoom out and find these levels, and then just wait for them. No need for me to get my hands dirty in here. Unfortunately, we did. Came back, was all good. Then we messed around with it up here, got lucky that it came back in. But it's really this trade again. Once you retake that key level that I liked in the first place, put the trade on one more time just to give it that work, right? My main man, Tony, says, put the beer back in the fridge, you know? Let it work out a little bit. So shout out to Tony there, who's doing a great job today. Let the stock fall back in. Now we flipped over to the long. The market has changed. Remember, we're doing this. It's 2:30 right now. Things have changed since 9 a.m. So watch out for your stock. Watch your levels. It's your trade of the day.
The beer always belongs in the fridge, as per Tony. Words of wisdom. Yeah, absolutely great opportunity, not only in Apple, but in a few other names that were on the watch list this morning, as we said. That's the link to the watch list, guys. Every single morning we send it out for you. We get you set. We get you ready for the open every day at 9:30. Come join us an hour before that, 8:30, and we'll walk you through that watch list. Ms. B going to join me here in a sec. She'll have that link for you in the chat. A couple of things of note before we jump into other things that are exciting this afternoon. A few little ones moving here. WRAP, 12.3% right now. Just made a day high on decent volume. There was also DCFC up 20% on huge volume right now. I'll show you why. This is at WRAP Technologies. They appointed a new CEO and president at about 11:30 this morning, so kind of random in the middle of the day, so heads up there. And then this Tritium, which is the DCFC EV charger, teaming up with BP, so a big name there. DCFC teaming up with British Petroleum, and that caused this move through $10 to the upside. But anyways, we have a lot to discuss this afternoon, guys, and more exciting than anything that we'll talk about, Tony is back for the afternoon.
Man, Tony gets a hell of a lot of love on this channel. I'm glad to have been the one to have started it. Yes, welcome back, Tony. Yeah, it should be an exciting afternoon. Mm-hmm. You've regrouped from the morning. Mm-hmm. How was that? You told me it was pretty good. You had a good experience there.
Oh, it was wonderful. Again, loved all the love in the chat. Thank you so much, guys. It's been absolutely wonderful. Today was a nice day for me for lunch. I wish I could have prepared a little bit more. Unfortunately, I had to go and mail my taxes. That's today. Best of luck for all your taxes, everybody, April 18th. Tax day. It's always fun.
That's what it is, eh? It's is it always the weekend after Easter, or no? It has nothing to do with Easter. It's just
usually it's the 15th, I believe.
That's what I thought it was the 15th as well, but I guess that's because it was Good Friday.
Right.
Right.
If it's like a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, I think it push it to next day over. I think I don't know the exact rules on, but obviously it's not 15th this year, so Easter or Good Friday, I should say,
yeah,
something to do with all that. Anyways, taxes. That's always fun.
Did you wind up using that call option on McDonald's there, or what was going on with that?
That was my lunch today. I used my 450 strike I guess what you'd call that, the Big Mac. Which ticker should we call it? BM.
Did you grab the Big Mac?
Yes, Big
Okay,
Mac.
nice job, nice
BMM. That's the call option. 650. I exercised that.
You exercised it on expiry date too.
That's right.
All right.
I didn't use it.
Yeah,
but
good. Good. Yeah, Brendan, we're happy to have Tony back right now. I'm a little distracted here, working a couple different positions. Right now, we have Facebook $1 in the money. We have AMD 75 cents in the money. We have Apple 75 cents in the money. But out of all of that, I have more problems here because for some reason I decided to test. And it's funny because I heard Brandon talk about this too. It was testing the day's high. Those levels really sometimes don't work out. It's like it's a make or break. So honestly, Twitter, I only had one trade early, and it was the short. We talked about that, and we're going to go through the rundown right now. Because how you like that, Fahad? The number one stock on there, Twitter, the one right where we're going right into there, Tony. So that was pretty good preparation right there. And I've told Tony to pay attention because we have the rundown up on the board. You see where it is right here now?
Oh, wow.
There it is right there. So he's getting ready to go. So get ready for some of those topics. But yeah, just talking about Elon Musk here. I mean, honestly, they came out with that poison pill. Apparently, that's kind of like one of those hold my beer moments because it doesn't seem to be doing much to Twitter right now. It's up 5%, continued to rock and roll. I thought it was negative news off the open, and it just kept cranking down. We initially liked the short up here, which is kind of crazy because it's the high of the day, and it's respected it, and respected it again. I flipped to the long, just trying to play momentum here throughout. The market has, of course, turned and looking a little bit lower, but we hit Twitter short early and really cashed in on this. But looks like we'll give this back. If it takes down 47 right now, then obviously we're going to have to get out of this trade, but we're holding it, seeing if we can hold highs, $47 on Twitter. I think they'll wind up taking the offer, honestly. I have a feeling like Elon Musk could sweeten it a little bit. Like, what if he goes to, and I know he said final offer. He said a lot of things, okay? What if his final offer goes to like 59.20 or 56.20 or something like that? I think that's enough juice to get this thing going. And I don't think there's going to be a bidding war at all. The shareholders will probably come down, probably reject, and then he'll get one more chance, of which, if he says no, this thing goes right back down. So these trades on Twitter are just temporary here, as I am long Twitter in my own account, but I do think that there is a little bit of a hard road in front of them, especially if that offer doesn't get upped. And he said he's already not upping it. So I don't know. Do you have a Twitter account?
No, I don't actually. I don't have a Facebook. I don't have a Twitter. If people have been asking me, it's like, hey, can you get me on Snapchat or sorry, I only have a LinkedIn or an email.
I was going to say, so when you go to the bar, you always talk about trying to step up your game a little bit. Do you have business cards you hand out or something, or what exactly happens here? Because you're like, hey, just hit me up on Facebook. Don't have it.
Yeah.
Hit Tony up on Instagram. You don't have that.
No, I don't.
Hit Tony up on Twitter. You know, you got a pager? What's going on over there?
Back when I had a Facebook, that was a while ago. I wasn't the most popular person back in college, back in high school. I didn't exactly get a lot of messages or anything. So, you know, you browse the entire thing all day. You're seeing your friends having a good time, and you're just, you know, in a dark room playing video games.
Oh, come on, switch the topic. Yeah,
all right. I'll get a little bit.
Let's not get a little too dark and evil here, Tony.
It's a little bit sad having social media. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. No, look, I'm not the biggest proponent of it. Obviously, we advertise here for the show and stuff like that, but I'm not trying to get into your darkest hour here, Tony. That was getting a little sketchy there, but. Okay, so anyways, yeah, let's keep on going now. But what do you think about Twitter at some of these levels? Any opinions? Even if you don't think about levels, what do you think about the story? What's going on in your opinion here?
On Twitter, I think it's a very fascinating story. To me, I think I said on Wednesday's or Thursday's show, actually, this should be the story of the year, you know, so far at least from what I'm seeing. Elon Musk wants to buy Twitter. Originally, like, people are thinking he was going to start his own social media or something, maybe DWAC the second, whatever happens there. But buying out Twitter, I had a feeling this might be one of the options when he kept talking about it on Twitter himself not so long ago, and now we've seen just that happen. Stocks today moving up 5%, very fast. Then he adopted the poison pill. Board of directors really doesn't want him taking over the company. I think that's why they offered him the board seat with the 15% rule as the only caveat there. It's like, hey, we'll let you have a seat. You can't have the entire thing, all right? It's ours. Right. But no, he doesn't want to play by that, and he wants the entire company. Up 5% today, but I thought the buyout news was actually really bad just because of how low the offer price was. Of course, it wasn't really that low an offer price. This was like, what, $39 a while back before the news came out. But yeah, I think that's, at this point, it's 50-50. He buys it out, it goes up $7. He doesn't buy it, we should crash back down to where we were, $39.30. All trades temporary. I wouldn't hold this overnight if you don't want to, you know, have that huge risk of waking up in the morning and Elon Musk says, nah, forget it. I'm done here. I don't want to play by your rules anymore. So I'd be really careful with this. At the moment, it looks like we're hitting some level of resistance. 47.50, 48. Looks like we tried to test these levels quite a few times before. And on the lower side, 44.50 seems to be as well a level of support here. So just in this range, I think it's range bound at the moment. If I can draw some quick lines over here using my brush. As you can see, I'm not a very seasoned trading user, but this is the two lines I'm going to draw for you today. I think we're just going to bounce back and forth in this channel until we see some news coming out one way or the other. So really interesting thing to see what happens with Twitter over here.
Tony, no matter what happens, here's my phone number.
Oh, thank you.
So, if you ever need anybody to hit up, you call me for sure. And I think you made a lot of friends on the chat as well. So we're going to be good to go. And look, anybody that wants to come visit us, we're live here, Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Door's always open.
The door.
Literally, I think it's a security concern.
Let's not. Tony, let's not break down our security profile here. You know what I'm saying? This is, Tony, your rise to stardom may come to a crashing end.
All right, forget I said that. Sorry.
But
sorry,
let's rephrase that.
Cut that out.
Yeah, you could come visit us, but we have immense security. So,
yes, no, we have many
you may not get past our security. What is even going on? This is why I love this show. Tony said, man, how could you've been doing this now for almost 3 years? I'm like, yeah, man, because we have a lot of fun doing it. And honestly, today's been a lot of fun, and I want to thank Tony for that. But yep, our security is really, really tight. And if you do try to get in, there's tons of alarms and tons of everything. So, good luck to everybody that comes, plus Arun's our bodyguard. So there's lots happening there. And if you do want to meet Arun in a dark, dark alley, you found the right place. So, Brendan, this is going really well. How are you doing?
I'm just listening, man. I'm just entertained over here. Tony, the international man of mystery. Let's talk about BAC. We got most of the banks out of the way last week for earnings. Bank of America was the final one to report this morning in the pre-market, and it was all about the forecast. Nice forecast. The report was fine, but a better than expected outlook going forward, guys, for Bank of America. So a nice look today, up 4% here.
I can't even stop over here. This guy is killing me. I believe we talked a little bit about BAC, but no, I was listening. That was fun though, man. Tony, you're the best. Okay, so yeah. Look, swing to profit, not swing to profit, obviously a profitable bank, as most banks are. And if they're not, then they're simply not operating correctly. But right now, nice. Quarter ended 86 cents per share a year ago. They hit 80 this year. Was a good quarter. Obviously, nothing came out of their conference call here to give us any sort of a thought that this was going any lower than it already was. The thing about the banks, and I talked about this earlier, that we were looking to probably start a position here. Get rid of those. Look what BAC's already been. Look what BAC's already done. It already came down to its lows. It tested them today. This 39 is right where we're at. Sorry, 38 is right where we were at, and we actually dipped a little bit lower than that, down to 37.20. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a rough ride here for the banks, but today, good report comes through for BAC. Nothing in the report that I could see. They got a big windfall from deal making last year. We heard about that. A lot of the money that got put into the market obviously got turned into different SPACs, different IPOs. BAC benefits from all of that. A big money center bank as well. The more that we take out loans and things like that, as variable interest rates and so on and so forth get increased by every single month, it seems like we're going up another 50 basis points. The next move's coming in May. That's giving them more net interest on their loans and so on and so forth. As Twitter now starting to get back up, we're starting to make a little bit of money. To me, though, the bellwether of all of this, and if you remember me off the open here today, we said JP Morgan down here at 125. Will that hold? That did hold. So I feel like Jamie Dimon, although obviously every bank has their own influences and so on and so forth, I believe that he speaks the loudest and gets listened to the most, right? And so I'm going to say that if JP Morgan can hold this 125, then I don't know if we're safe moving forward, but we've held it now a couple days in a row. We've already broken below this 128.75. Now we're back above it. I don't know. I don't know if it's an all clear on banks right now. I certainly don't want to be selling some of my tech names that are down this low, and Nucor just rips even higher now today. I don't have much to sell, so if I had some spare cash, I think I would put it to work in the banking sector. Seems to be making the most sense right now as dividends can get released. They do have that big reserve, so hopefully nothing can happen to them. And we do know, Tony, that they get bailed out.
That's right. Banks today, rising tide lifts all boats. Citigroup up 4%, JP Morgan 2.5 almost, Wells Fargo 2%. These are just the bigger names today. Massive move upwards. Banks not really following the NASDAQ or the rest of the markets, just absolutely tremendous off of, I believe it was Bank of America's earnings, sorry, mental slip there for just a second. As for the rest of the market today, I'm seeing quite a huge rally back over here. S&P, the Qs that we're trying, I think, we're fading just a little bit now. Looks like a U shape all the way back to the downside. My PayPal short was something that I luckily held for most of the day. Unfortunately, closed it back when we broke above the VWAP. Someone mentioned here in the chat just a moment ago, Tony, do you game? It actually kind of reminds me of something I was talking about back on Thursday or Friday show, actually. Some people were asking me for my gamer tag back in this game I played called League of Legends back in the day. Don't want to get too much into this. I know most of the chat doesn't really know what's going on here. Back in the day, I want to become a pro gamer. Name checks out, like if you watch Thursday's show. But a while ago, I was kind of good. This is Latin America, by the way, back when I was in Florida. I wanted to be one of the top echelons in this game. I wanted to become a pro gamer. Didn't really get there, but had a lot of fun doing so. What kind of reminded me, though, from the chat is that I only played one champion ever. And so, when you play a game like this, or when you do anything in life, I think the way I see it, you need to do what you're good at. You got to play to your strengths and only to your strengths. Another image I actually was reminded of, which kind of wanted me to bring up this topic, was that if you compare Michael Jordan, James Harden, this is where they shoot. Michael Jordan, you can see he does everything, but pretty much within the 3-point line. Harden takes threes where he pretty much does a jump shot right in front of the hoop here. So point being, it's like if I was James Harden, I'd be like, my area would pretty much be like a really, really tiny dot, like right over here, like not even this, like half of this at best. So, when it comes to anything in life, I feel like it's important to just play to your strengths. No, you don't have to do everything in life. I don't think anybody's a jack of all trades. But if you get to do one thing really, really good, and same with trading, if you know how to trade Forex, you don't have to trade cryptocurrencies. You like equities, you don't have to trade futures. If there's one trade setup you really, really enjoy, so you like the scalp or something, you like the opening trade, you don't have to trade everything you see in the markets, just what you're really good at, what you really like. And if you can master that, I think it's a lot easier than mastering everything. And so that's just a quick tidbit that kind of came to mind just now. But I'll pass it back to you.
I mean, if people aren't paying attention to that, then I don't know what they are. I mean, that was perfect, man. James Harden versus Michael Jordan. Great analogy there. I like that. I like that a lot. We'll hit that. And then if I can find my ballin' thing here, I do that. But in the meantime, let's throw it back to Brendan at the big desk. It looks like we're going to be talking about Mullen soon.
Yeah, let's talk some cars. I think Tony needs to be our producer all the time going forward. That seems like a great idea. Let's talk about Mullen. This morning we learned that Mullen was going to retrofit one of their California production facilities so they can start producing batteries immediately. Then they come out and tweet this, which is apparently going to be available next year, or 2024, I apologize, 2024. So this is the, I forget what it's called, the Mullen 5, I believe. So that's going to be out and available by 2024, guys. So not only do they have a car, but it's going to be in production and ready for 2024. So all that said and done, Mullen ends up being a complete disaster today and does nothing but go straight down.
I like that one. Yeah, I can't believe it either. I mean, you get all this good news. I'm sitting here thinking like, oh yeah, Mullen, this is the one now. We want to trade some Mullen here. But yeah, to the downside. And I guess they had a share offering last week that did not get felt off well by the market there, did not get received well. 9 million shares or something like that down to the downside. Mullen was cruising near $4 or $5, and remember the CEO came out, and I'm gonna say it was like this day, like March, I feel like maybe Brendan wasn't here. I don't know what day it was, but maybe it was this big green candle day here, maybe March 30th or so, where the CEO came out and basically said that they're just waiting to get that big order from a very reputable car company or big time company or something like that. Since then, it just hasn't come through. So, but Mullen's at an interesting level where you're at the 50 period moving average, 183. I feel like risk to reward here. It's a new name. Everyone's starting to talk about it. And I mean, we've talked about this over and over again. We talked about investing advice and things like that. And someone said, by the way, Tony, could you please be their financial advisor?
Financial advisor, me?
I'll leave that to that person. But I mean, ultimately, I feel like risk to reward now with Mullen is almost there. Like, what if they do get that offering or that deal with somebody and rockets it back up? I don't think we're going to be looking at $12, $13, $14. But, you're already all the way down here. This is seeming to me, like 67, 80 cents, basically cut in half from where we are now is the bottom. But I feel like there's more than double the upside. So to me, I don't mind it at all, but I don't want to trade it on a down day. You know, I'd rather have Mullen start to go back to the upside. And then honestly, a psychological break of 2 is what's going to get me in. So I'm going to be into this name. Hello, Twitter, right now. Ripping up to the upside, my main man, Tony. Here goes Twitter. Now taking off up to 63. We reloaded this thing up there. There's the long. We just talked about this, man. Topic number 1. Twitter bounce back. And we talked about why we like this name. Here it comes bouncing back in. Twitter will take another piece out there, 62 or 63 from the long at 19. It is what it is. But Mullen, I like it. I like it through $2, and I think I'm going to try it. Worst case scenario is we bust through 2, and I get out on a VWAP break back down 192. So I like the risk to reward here in case something hits the wire. I'm going to go long Mullen through $2. But giddy up right now for Twitter. A little face slapper as it's starting to run up to the upside right there. Any opinions on Mullen, my friend?
Mullen, well, taking a look at Twitter just now. Mullen Automotive, I see it's been moving down 12% today. This stock has been absolutely crazy. I remember back in the middle of March, I think, or late March, when this thing pretty much is this multi-day runner. We saw a huge move up. I forgot the exact news for that. Ripped all the way back down. I thought this was like a gap closer. I thought it was over back when it was during its first run. But this thing has proven, I guess, time and time again back, several weeks ago, this thing just keeps on ripping. Fortunately now, I think the momentum might be a little bit dead. I'm seeing here from line charts, if I can start drawing this thing here, the wick top on the 21st was a massive, massive reversal. I think now we're trying to break the up out of this down channel, but unfortunately it looks a bit too strong when we see we're trying to make some lower and lower lows here from this previous level of support. Tested it, tried to bounce back. Unfortunately, that got hammered right back down, and now we're sitting at down 11.81% for the day. Curious to see where this one moves, but unfortunately, in my opinion, I don't know if I want to become a long-term stockholder of this just yet until the deal comes through, perhaps with one of the larger automotive companies. But fascinating stock to keep track of. Unfortunately, for a name like this, which is how it's been performing in the recent past, this thing's been unfortunately looking really ugly. Occasionally have a spike, every now and then, but look what happened here. Looks like a similar story, massive move upwards, $6 all the way up to 15, but then it just faded. And then when it fades and it keeps making new lows and new lows and new lows, it's not something you want to be holding. So for long term, I'd have to be a little careful on this one. But short term, I think this is an excellent stock to be day trading, especially if you like a liquid stock. Because they're doing 100 million shares traded today, $2 stock, that's 200 million. So very, very fascinating stock.
All right, let's jump over to Tesla. I was just asking Miss V how her trading was today on Tesla. 3% here. We're at day highs. Actually, just took out 1010 and then some for our friend Tesla. So yeah, 420 coming Wednesday. That means it's earnings time for Tesla.
Almost being down 700. Yeah, that was really interesting about 420. What was the point of that, Brendan? Did I miss
earnings aftermarket?
Oh, wow, the earnings is that day. Okay. Man, this guy Elon Musk just keeps on impressing me, man, over and over again as it just keeps on going. We love this stuff over here. Normally we get a 420 graphic going on there. Did I miss it, that boys, or what? We already hit it. Okay, there you go. All right, so yeah, this is the thing. I think Tesla continues to work, man, and I don't see why it doesn't. We talked about that today. I really like that 970 bottom that came in. Where's the 20-minute chart? That's come in the last couple days right here. That's been great to pick it up. I was a buyer down here at 1060. So yeah, it needs a little bit of work to go. My long is still, a long time ago. I've been trading Tesla, obviously, for a very, very long time. But look, the story remains the same for them. They're the only ones really producing in the electric vehicle market right now. Ford just came out last week and said, hey, you know what? Our margins aren't going to be as good. The margins on the EV aren't what we thought they would be. Okay, so that's fine. Downgrade Ford a little bit, right, on their price targets. Tesla continues to pump cars out and just continues to work. So when I look at this chart, I always think, and again, we can get Ms. V, see how she's been trading it, so on and so forth. I heard them talk about it on the midday show. But honestly, this is just a move right up. Tesla, I feel like they came out, what was it, last weekend? They came out with more, slightly less. I think it was about 310,000 or so cars delivered. That was a little under what the market expected, but at the same time, I feel like there's going to be good news coming forward. All Elon has to say, really, is take out the supply chain worries, say some nice words about China, and this thing is at $1,200 on Thursday, whatever day the 20th is. Today's 19th. That's so before market, after market on the 20th. So that, Thursday morning, this thing rockets. But if he comes out and says, hey, look, China is a problem right now. They're seeing slow demand because there's less consumers out there shopping. These are all issues that we all have to worry about. Apple's facing them now, and I don't think Tesla is immune to them. So for me, I like Tesla moving forward. However, I don't really think that these prices tell this true story. In my opinion, be better to wait for that report than to jump in right now, because I feel like it's about to move like crazy one way or the other. So the best way to play this might be options, but I don't know. I'm excited for Tesla. I think they're operating properly, and their margins should come in online, and I think they'll sell more cars than people think.
Absolutely, Tesla here. I saw that the earnings was on Wednesday, but it didn't connect to me that was 420. I was like, oh, Tesla earnings this week. That's pretty cool. The fact that he timed it on 420, you can't stop this man. It's 420 with him. So if you ever do bartending, by the way, your most common tip, I feel like it's going to be 420. That's all I was reading. So thanks to everybody who gave me $4.20. That was really kind of everyone. But Tesla here, looks like we have quite a bit of support over at 975 when I was seeing. But like Sean was just saying, this is pretty much, I don't know if I'd call it a binary event to that extent, but it's going to move one way or the other. And being caught short or long in this thing when it rips against you, it could not be that. Back in the day, I think Tesla, it would move like 10, 15%, if not 20 on the earnings. More recently, the stock has cooled off a little bit. There's more institutional support behind Tesla. This is pretty much the only EV producer that is producing, even with supply chain issues here. I think Tesla would weather the storm a lot better than some of its competition. We see Rivian today on a day where Tesla's up 3%. Rivian's still down 5% now, trying to test new lows. This company was once at $50 billion without any revenues. So, that's something I never thought I'd see in my lifetime a while ago, but it came a lot quicker than I expected. But back to Tesla, I want to see what the earnings are like. This company has been on a massive ripoff. Everybody, institutional owners, fund managers got caught in a short squeeze. Bitcoin and Tesla stock was the meme investment back in 2020, 2021. I want to see if it can still hold these gains because looks like here the stock looks really strong. In the broad sense, I think that we're going to try to test the 1,000 level. 1,000 level should hold up as really, really strong support for the time being, or at least the 975 level. We break this level. This stock has been trading in a huge range. If you look at options, I'm not sure what the implied volatility quite is, but I think this has been close to at least 70, 80% if you look at the monthlies. I would guess maybe a little bit less than that. But if an options play come on Thursday, well, I guess that'd be a little bit after the earnings. But Danielle Shea usually comes on Thursdays. You got a lot of options talk coming back on Thursday if you guys want to tune in for that.
Yeah, she will indeed. Good point. We'll talk to Ms. Shea coming up again this week. Oil, guys, just quickly on crude, just absolutely tanked into the close of the pit session there, down to 107.50 on monster volume, it's worth mentioning. It immediately bounced to 108, but big move there at 2:30 as we wrapped up the pit session for crude. Tesla, we just talked about, obviously. Let's go to Apple. We heard Sean's take off the top there for Apple today. Yeah, it was Bloomberg reporting that not only Apple, but some of the other computer makers going to feel it. Some supply chain crunches, I guess, in this current quarter. Apple not going to be able to avoid that as far as iPhone production is concerned. They were even talking about shifting some of their production to other facilities away from some of the hotter areas in China right now for COVID, guys.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of like the same story over and over again here. I remember back, I think it was last quarter, that we got basically the same house came out and said that there were supply chain issues, and then a couple days later they said no, they're supposed to get, everything's going to be fine. So look, I believe anytime I see Apple get hit like that on news like that, I just, I kind of think it's just traders trying to get long, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm that crazy. Like, I just think that every time you're selling Apple, you're either selling it into an ETF, you're selling it into Warren Buffett, or you're just selling it into more public hands. And I just feel like people that buy Apple don't sell it. And I don't know why the stock was moving down the last couple of days. I mean, we know why. Obviously, there's been some worry here over the last, I would say we went back up to 180. It was just got heated up. I mean, I think that's really the problem with Apple was it came back in on the NASDAQ flushing. We got long at 150. Both Brad and I pushed that button. We got the long through 150 right now. And then like I said, 13 straight up days, right back to all-time highs. And when you're at all-time highs where we have a war going on, where we have supply chain issues, where their biggest market is shut down, and as far as I know, China's close enough to being shut down. I mean, I keep saying they're shut down. They're somewhat open, but maybe I'm getting the wrong news stories. I see streets closed. I don't think the Apple Store is even open right now. Foxconn, things like that. So this is problems for Apple. And I mean, China's their #1 outlet for consumers. So it's the #1 phone in China, the iPhone. And if they don't have those sales bumping, then, you know, so be it. Could be a bad quarter. However, I don't think that that's necessarily something that we have to worry about as shareholders. I think you buy the dips in Apple. I think it remains strong. If the market can hold up, this is a name that we like. It's below the 50-period moving average right now. And be quite frank with you, I switched up my play, man. We went long right here on Apple. The minute the market started to test, and even though the market's up right now, it was this little break right into here where the market got through a lot of this and then started to go. And I was like, you know what? I'm long Apple, and that's that. So here comes Apple back up to the upside. We had really good time shorting it. We got killed earlier on and then hit it to the backside, and now we're long and in the money $1. I think Apple continues to work, and honestly, I want to be long this name instead of short. So for me, I'm not a buyer at these current levels, but it's just so interesting, Tony, because we're coming in right now to earnings season, and it's just going to be one of those things. Where do they guide? Do they throw in the bag? Do they sandbag? Do you know what that means?
Yeah,
it's basically where they'll guide. It's good. That's fine. It's where they'll guide a little bit lower, just because they want the analysts to bump the numbers down. So they're kind of throwing in the quarter and saying, you know what, next quarter, maybe the next 2 quarters, we are expecting a 5% or so drawback in the iPhone sales, but they're not really. You know what I'm saying? So they want to bring back expectations and throw it forward. That's not something that Apple normally does, but I'm just wondering if that could be in for this next quarter.
That's right, Sean. And Apple today looking kind of weak, in my opinion. People are asking me, you know, Tony, what trades are you taking? I've been trading Apple myself recently, but I'm still short on the broad market. In fact, some of these names, what was it, Facebook, I think was in a downtrend, and I was trying to short that. But my opinion on Apple at the moment, like Sean said, 13 days straight to the upside, 150 all the way to 180. That's a 20% move on the world's largest company. You know, I don't even know what that represents in terms of money, at least like half $500 billion at that point. I think it's time for us to cool off just a little bit as we head into earnings as well. In a rocky market, I feel like the market environment entirely dictates how people even interpret the earnings. I saw Microsoft beat earnings, you know, a while back, 2018. I saw it again, actually. It was like deja vu back in 2020, a while back. If you pull up the Microsoft chart real quick, I remember their I think it was Q4, Q1 earnings. Unfortunately, I'm not following these too often, but it was down 4% in the, you know, right at the after hours, and then they actually started giving their guidelines or guidance, I should say. Next day opened up, it went green from 4% red. This Microsoft play right here, I forget exactly when it was back. Somewhere over here, I remember it was back in the 270 territories. Huge candle up, huge reversal, and I think for a lot of these blue chip names, it's just you know, you want to buy the fear because it always gets bought back by somebody in the end. You got you know, pensioners, fund managers, hedge funds, just funds in general buying up these good companies. It's not like you know, a small biotech company that could go bust, you know, at any moment. Names like Apple, names like Microsoft, these, you know, they just don't really go anywhere. So even though at the moment I think the uptrend here slightly stalled in the long term, same levels that we were back in early December, hard to break this level at 181. Try to test that level, close to that level back there, around 179, 178. But over here, looks like to the downside just a little bit. You don't really want to be caught short at a name so strong. But like Sean said, I can't call myself a buyer, unfortunately, not at this level and not when the trend looks as bearish as it does now. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to say I'm going to be on the sidelines for the time being, or at least not long.
Look at, yeah, great analysis there, and good job on those charts for sure. Let's drop the money down though, Tony, because look at Twitter right now. Twitter up to 48, man. What? We just bought, yeah, I know. We just bought at the beginning of the show 47.25s. We were talking about it. It's the #1 topic up there. Twitter making big time moves back up to the upside. So yeah, we're pretty happy guy over here right now. Facebook, $2, Tony, $2.
$2.
How many?
Jeez, I was in.
How many dollars?
What, for Facebook?
$2.
$2 for Facebook.
$2 in the money on Facebook right now.
I was short just now.
As you're going to short it?
No, I was short. I was short at 211.50. I'm 30 cents out of the money.
Oh.
I got to manage my positions a little bit better here.
Oh, we don't get to see Tony's positions on there, but do you want to say, what do you have? You still have PayPal short? No.
PayPal I closed right around 101. I think 101.10 was when I closed. So $1 in the money trade. Not that many shares. I think I'm not allowed to say exactly how many, right? So less than 100, I'll say. It was a small trade. I'm still a newbie here. But
that's okay.
Oh, I wasn't allowed to say that? Okay, so
no, you can say whatever you want. I don't care if you say you're paper trading or whatever.
All right. No. This is me kind of just having a little bit of fun here, not doing anything
Look, honestly,
serious.
100 shares. Like, look, let's be perfectly honest. PayPal can move $3 or $4.
Yeah, it's still a 10.
So I wouldn't throw shade at 100 shares. So don't keep going, my man.
Ooh, but yeah, no. Just taking a look at some of these trades, I think the Qs ought to cool down just a little bit. Again, I'm not seeing exactly how much it is. Still at around 50.5%, I should say. But I think the markets are downtrending here, so this might just be a quick pullback to the upside. I forgot the name for that. It's still in my mind just now. But again, I think I'm short on the Qs just for the time being.
Remember, you liked my sentence there, Tank City.
Tank City. Oh, I love that, Tank City.
Let's see if Facebook can enter Tank City here, Brendo.
Right. There are a few others trying to enter that as well, including some of the oil stocks. I mentioned that move to the downside, guys, on crude oil into the close there at 230. So energy stocks under a little bit of pressure. There were a few individual names that gave us, not necessarily a scare per se at the open this morning, but it tested some patience, I guess, a good way to put it. Let's talk about some frustrations from the open this morning.
Okay, so I have a frustrating stock, and it's shout out to everybody out there that's watching Bitcoin or Ethereum and everything like that. You might think that we're sort of missing out on this, but I was leaving this for this time right now. Okay, Veru just pulled into Tank City right now. Yeah, look, I haven't had much luck trading Veru the last couple days, so I will stay away from that. But we did call that, and shout out to Justin because he bought it at $4, $5, $6, something like that. Got out at $13.50. Was a little sad when it went up to $16 there. I have no idea where it is now. So I was just saying, like, don't get upset, man. Whenever you have a double up, let alone almost a triple up, I think that's great. But I don't want to avoid this because right now here, crypto is starting to go. This is a daily chart. I'm going to drop this down to a 1 minute. It's been pretty aggressive here since about noon. Nice little bottom of 39, right back up to 41. So you had a pretty clean move, of about $2,000 before stopping at $41. So if you bring this back to maybe an hour chart, something like that, it's really respected these 39. Excuse me, just downing this water here. This 39.5 level or so has been pretty well respected, as has this 41.5. So you're kind of just bouncing in between, but it's a nice move up there. So what does that have to do with trade of the day or frustrating trade of the day? Well, when you start to see it starting to go, you can just go over to Coinbase. I mean, I know there's Hut 8, there's a few other ones, there's Riot, there's a few other names out there that I know a lot of you might want to trade. MSTR as well, MicroStrategy is simply just Bitcoin. But as you can see, Coinbase, and I just feel like definitely a take of this level right here, 146. That was a great long, and you never really had to worry about it as it goes all the way up to 149. But I just think sleeping on crypto, and we had a little bit of an extended meeting here because we've had so many different things happening, so wasn't able to get back to my desk, so I did miss the majority of this move. But for me, it's a little frustrating because, yes, I was waiting for Coinbase to start to go, was watching crypto, and I just feel like right now, we had WonderFi on earlier, there is a connection right now between how some of these exchanges are moving and how the actual physical Bitcoin themselves is moving. So that's my most frustrating stock because I always think, Tony, and this is the thing, and as a beginning trader, I think this is good advice for you as well, and that is that you always want to find sort of a leading indicator.
Yes.
Right? Like, why are you going long Coinbase if Bitcoin's going down? So once you find that kind of a relationship, then you got to stick with it. And I think we found one with Coinbase, just a missed opportunity today. The move's already happened, but we'll see. If it takes out that 41.5, then we'll be looking back at 149.50 for Coinbase.
Absolutely. And talking about frustrating trades of the day for me, I like a good leading indicator. I think more recently, the Qs is what I think I really want to look at, especially if you're holding some growth name stocks. Be it a DraftKings or a SoFi, a SPAC name or just a Fintech name, a lot of those small ones there. What really frustrates me, so it's like every time I look at my portfolio, I expect that when the markets are up 1% or 2%, that my portfolio is at the very least green for the day because I'm in a lot of long-term trades. But that is not true, and especially not true for PayPal today, because here we're seeing that the markets are green now, up 0.5%. But PayPal, my short was great because we're still trading at 100.76. We're still digesting, I think, the news that John Rainey got poached over to Walmart. They just lost their CFO, and now we're down 70% from the $300 high back in June of last year. And this thing does not want to move up. I think you own a really, really strong stock. You can see the markets go to the downside, and you're scared to look at your portfolio. But say you're holding an Apple or a Microsoft, one of those stocks that never goes down, perhaps a Nucor, and you're pleasantly surprised. It's like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought. The market, in fact, my portfolio is up today. Well, at PayPal, you can't really trust the indicators because this thing's just moving to the downside day after day after day. And so, when you have a name like this, I think you want to be short biased. And that, if you want to hold long for your long account, you like the fundamentals, that's whatever, that's fine. I'm holding some PayPal myself. But I think when you want to trade this thing and you think the Qs are going up, oh, I'm going to trade PayPal because I know this thing's been beaten and might make a really strong recovery. Could be true, but you might have something today where, it's still down at 1.5% while the Qs are ripping. So that's my frustrating trade today. Well, I guess not frustrating because I was short, but for my long-term account, it's really frustrating looking at this name.
Yeah, please close all long-term accounts because that was my prediction. That was my call of 2020 was PayPal. But like you said, I think you already hit the nail on the head from this morning, Tony, when you said there's just so many options.
Absolutely.
Now to pay for. And I think even when I open up my phone, it's like, what do you want to pay with? I don't have Apple, but Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, Cash Apps, all this stuff. It's like, where do you want to go with all this? So I feel like it's tough. Then you have the buy now, pay never stuff, like Affirm and things like that. So I just feel like it's very, very difficult. But switched up the opportunity. That's why we hit the alarm right now. We did get out of our AMD long, so we switched that up. So we got out of our AMD long right there, off of right here. Took about a clean dollar. We could have left it. We should have got out up here. I would love to have a tick up here. But right now, it looks like the futures might be, Tony, singing a different tune as we may be trying to break down to the downside. So I'm going to take this shot here on AMD. We just took the short now, 57. There's two outs there. I took them right back to back. So we got out of our long, we got into a short, and we're going to use it against this high, even this wick high here, 95.20. Looks like that was a legitimate high. So we'll average back in if it comes back up to 94.80 or so. But right now we flip the switch and we go short here on AMD. Also, we did get another piece out of our Twitter after getting hello right now. Watch this, Tony. Ow. There we go. That's why Neil's feeling a little bit under the weather. He has some indigestive problems right there after eating me alive right there. But yeah, we'll get out of some Twitter right there at $48. And now we'll see about this move. Hello, AMD. Instantly in the money, 20 cents. And now starting to come back to the downside. Probably a good idea. Let's just get out of everything that we're long right now. This could turn out to backfire against us. Let's offer out on Twitter. There it is. We'll take another piece out there. Let's get whoopsies. Let's get out of our Apple as well, as things seem to be turning down. So we have a nice short here. The thing is, Tony, you never want to give up gains you've already had. If something changes, in your opinion, you just get out, man, because guess what tomorrow is?
Tomorrow? Tuesday? Taco Tuesday?
Taco Tuesday, good one. We like that. Shout out to Taco Eater. But tomorrow, Tony?
Earnings.
Yep, is another day.
Oh, another day.
So that's the one thing is here. And
I was like, let me stick something.
Yeah, that's good. No, you did good, man. It is Taco Tuesday. It is earnings, so you're right. And it is a day that ends in Y. But the point is that we are coming up to times where you can just switch your opinion. We're here. We're into the power hour. It's soon enough, and things have changed. Brendan, you know what? We didn't get over to you. Is there potentially a frustrating stock for you today? I know you're back in the seat right now.
Yeah, I can talk about one. Absolutely. MDVL was one that we were looking at in the pre-market this morning. A little one up on decent news. Also had a bit of a squeeze here into the close back on Thursday. I was giving it to day highs essentially, which was 3. If you go to the daily chart, 3 was the high. Of course, we break that. So had to be a little bit patient with it. It does actually end up giving you the trade versus that high, but had to try it twice. And now look where we are, all the way back to 230. So give you $1 to the downside versus, what was that, 320 essentially. So 20 cents to make $1. So, but had to be pretty patient. One of those days where a lot of those little ones specifically that were up in the pre-market did give you a move, but you had to be a little bit patient, give them a little more room than normal, guys.
Yeah, MDVL, that's a tough one. We did get, I just saw this, and thanks to Lucas for posting this in there. I know when you're working at the Jays games, there's not too much variety between what people can buy. You don't make mixed drinks there. I mean, there are some spots, but what is your favorite drink to make as a bartender?
I've been making a lot of vodka sodas this past weekend.
Ooh la la.
I try to pour less ice in it. Hopefully the Aramark Corporation isn't watching this right now.
Yeah, don't,
I try to pour a little bit more vodka, a little bit less ice, try to give the people what they want. But that's been really popular among both men and women. So, I think that's a really good drink. I'm going to try one myself someday. And
Never had a vodka soda?
Oh, sorry, I guess I meant sometime. I tried it once before in my life just to see how it tastes. So a friend recommended it to me at the bar. But
I think it's a great drink. Honestly, it's one of the healthier drinks because you're just drinking the soda water, so you don't have to worry about Diet 7-Up or whatever people put in there, the sugar count. I really like that. Also, throw a lime in there.
Ooh, the lime.
So that's I know that's not like an advanced strategy, but for you that might be good. Let's go. We're going to go out as soon as everyone starts feeling better. We get back in the swing of things. The first couple of rounds are on me, my friend, and we will be experiencing some vodka sodas. Great call on that one, and thank you to Michael Travis for asking that question. So I do like that, but are you more of a liquor guy or a beer guy?
Definitely towards the liquor a little bit more. I can take a few shots, but I don't really like the taste of beer all that much. So if I want to get drunk, I'll just down 2-3 shots. And I have a really small resistance. So
2 or 3 shots.
2 or 3 shots. That's enough for a big guy like me.
All right, let's go. Let's get the bottles going in here right now. No, thanks for that, guys, and thanks for the comments there. Tony, killing it as per usual. All right, so that was a good, frustrating stock for sure. We did have WonderFi on today. We can look at that in a minute. I just want to go over quickly here AMD because we switched up our game plan. I mean, we've been sitting here watching AMD now for a very, very long time. I had this whole short on Thursday, all the way down in. And it really started to get kicked out, started to pick up steam like around now. Right here, once we started to break some of these levels around 244, basically, which is right here. Big downward move. We had tons of downward action, tons into the close again. So let's see what happens here for AMD today. I mean, it's going to look pretty good on our chart. We started to go short, 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 short. These are all shorts until we reversed to the long and then got out of our long there and then re-engaged in the short. Now, we just took that short right now at 60. We just took a piece out at 30. We should have understood that this was already a low down here at 20. So right now I am sitting actually a little sub 20 right now, 13s, 94.13 now, sitting here. I guess that's a little ways away. Maybe I'll get a little bit lower than that, but we're going to respect the tops here because just because what happened, and this is what we're talking about today, tomorrow's another day, just because of what happened on Thursday does not mean that this afternoon we're going to start to rip up. And actually, maybe quite the contrary, we seem to not be able to take down this 50 period. So as long as we're hovering around here, it's kind of no-fly zone for me. It either needs to take out this day high, which is right back to what number? 14,000 here in the NASDAQ. So we'll watch out. It bounced to 14,000 before, Tank City. Bounced again right now. Will we see Tank City again? Who knows? But you like Grand Theft Auto?
Oh, that's the only game I play, but the 4th edition, not the 5th. I like driving buses there for some reason. I always wanted to be Tony the bus driver. Back when I was a kid, I still do.
Tony the bartender, Tony the president, Tony the bus driver. Man, Tony the trader now. Man, you've really come a long way, my friend.
I have. My life was quiet back in college, unfortunately, but it's been a lot more exciting now. And I saw in the chat, a lot of people said, take a look at Casa Systems. I think this is a name we've been covering just a while ago. Early on the show, I guess, wasn't that short a time ago. But this thing tried to test $7 today and, couldn't really test that. But opening of the day, around the 575 level, this acted as really, really strong support, I'd say. We're bounced right off that, heading back towards the upside now. Not as much volatility as I thought the stock would experience. We're trading pretty much between like a $1 range, open to close, just back and forth, consolidating down now, back up again. People have been saying, this is going to be a massive, massive mover today. Hopefully when Power Hour starts, we'll see where this goes. If it starts breaking the high of day today, 685, who knows where this could run. So just a lot of people are saying in the chat, I cut you off, changed the topic there a little bit, but no, I just want to get back to people mentioning Casa Systems.
You cut me off, bro. No, we have to be, look, as being traders of the people, which I clearly think that we are, right? We got to address their questions. So I think Casa was a great one there. Nice work. See, you're getting already the credits there.
Oh,
Traderoni, right? Not pepperoni, Traderoni. Right now there. So, and Tony, people are saying, who dreams of being bus drivers? But I think there's lots of people that dream of being bus drivers. I think that's a very, very respectable occupation for sure. I don't know.
To me, what's really...
I'm just laughing because honestly, like I hear Lucas and Fahad over there. I don't even know. These guys are having too good of a time. And that's the thing, right? You know, you got to enjoy what you're doing. And that sort of leads me to why I feel like Trader TV is the best. You know, we're throwing down new talent. Brandon Luca, absolutely amazing in the afternoon show, right? We brought Prad out of the slums of Brampton, where I'm from as well. There, so Prad killing it as well. Tony, I mean, you're just creating a legend for yourself here, and we're day trading. Like, we're actually putting on, like, this is just fun for me now, and this is what Tony says, like, how do you do this and trade and put on trades? I mean, you can see that we're clearly holding shares and making some moves here, and it's just about having a good time, and that's my advice to anybody that's out there. Like, thank you for watching, but honestly, I know I could speak for Brandon, Neil, you know, because we're all the same pretty much. We really enjoy what we do, and we have a passion for doing it, so no matter what you guys are up to, you know, have a good time and just keep it pumping, man. And let's just keep coming back and keep having a good time with your friends here at Trader TV Live. I want to go over to Bank of America, though, quickly, because this name just keeps on motoring a little bit, staying up high right now and bouncing off these levels. So it's up that 3.8%. We've already touched 39.30, but I said it keeps on motoring. It's just been going up, but right now we're kind of barcoding and flatlining a little bit here at this 39 even price. So normally I'm shorting through some of these levels. And I mean, I'm not really seeing anything here on the minute chart that tells me anything differently. Maybe banks give back a little bit here. Let's just see what JP Morgan looks like quickly on the daily chart. It's still pretty high. Let's check Citigroup quickly. They've already broken down. Let's check Goldman. I'm just running through all these things here to see where we are as far as below or, you know, some of these levels. So they all look like they're trying to crack. WFC was the weakest name last week. I'm going to assume that's already cracked, but no, that's maybe the one that's above the 50 period the most. So this is why when I look at BAC right now, although it's starting to come back in, I feel like it's going to be the weakest name right now. And if I thought this market was going to fall, we have some good outs. Like if we need to, we're below 39 right now. Well, we're at 39. We have the 50 period that we've respected. But if I just bump this up a little bit, you can go 30 cents against you against this trade. So even if you had 1,000 shares or something, it'd be $300 against you. But can we not get back into VWAP right now? Have this thing come back into somewhere that's more reasonable, especially if the futures fall. The problem is I'm just looking at NASDAQ all day. I really think that this BAC short in front of 39 could be okay, even if you only took 5 cents worth of a hit here against 39.05. You know what? I think I'm going to put this one on right now. I think I've just talked myself into this a little bit. Let's put this on short 39, and I'm only going to give this 5 cents, but we're going to use a little bit more shares just to see what happens here. BAC short, try to get 2 or 3 to 1 down here into the 90s, and then we'll see about an 80 print. So I'm going to like this trade. I'm going to put it on first, but I'm going to try BAC to the short side. As right now, AMD, did we just get ticked out on that? Yeah, buddy. There it is, Tony. What's up? We'll say a big shout out to the Maple Leafs, although we should have hit the Raptors because tonight, Tony, try to catch the game, man. It's Raptors +7. They're against Philly. They're going to be in really, really tough. We're without our Rookie of the Year candidate, Scotty Barnes, but I think it should be a good game. Try to check it out if you can. Put one back with one of those vodka sodas.
Absolutely. I heard we lost 2 players yesterday, but Raptors won championships not that long ago. I think we might have a shot at doing so again. You know,
like
again,
the positivity.
Hey, it's possible. It's possible. I haven't been following too closely, but anything's a possibility, I'd say. I saw a lot of people mentioning Didi, or Didi, I guess, in the chat over here. I think with these Chinese stocks, it's always something going on, something funky. You always got to be, you know, watching out about because, like, you know, it's like we could have massive rips. Well, I guess Didi never ripped. This thing was just down, you know, from the start, DOA. But no, it's like at the moment, I think we gapped down today on some delisting news. Always got to be careful about these regulatory risks because I think that's the one risk you really can't predict. If something were to happen, you know, there's not much you can do about it. You can't just bag hold it because it's going to be delisted. So, you know, when you want to get in, you want to know where your out is, and you want to get out fast. You got to put a timer on your stop loss as well. Right over here, opened down, low of day 190. Massive mover early this morning, all the way to 230. But now we're back down. I think just fading, trying to find a bottom here. If we can see a reversal back above the 205 level, maybe we can sustain a move upwards. But till then, I think this is a little bit out. Again, power hour. Anything could happen. Raptors might win. Anything could happen, but we shall see what happens there. And it's one more stock. This was one I've been looking at on Friday. Adrian, I can't really pronounce this name, but back to $10 or 10% today, holding again at this level. We are consolidating a little bit. I called this the Prad stock because this thing was moving higher and higher day after day after day. Barely a pullback.
That's a good one.
In this thing here. Well, no, not higher in that regard, no. But no, this thing, it's strong. It's Prad today. He was on the bus already until I told him, hey, just take another day off, man. But Prad's a trooper. That guy's going to be back sooner than you know it, and he'll be rocking the midday show again. So shout out to Prad. Hope you feel better, man. But yeah, Adrian today up 10%. Now 604. We kind of hit a top, I feel like, back earlier on Wednesday when this thing was testing 660. I was in at 656, so I always call it a top. It's like me entering a party. I was joking about. It's like kind of kills the momentum a little bit, unfortunately. But no, Adrian, maybe we can start moving higher to the upside. We shall see what happens there.
Love this guy. Oh, by the way, what's up to Scott Crane? Apparently, I don't know how old his sister is, but you already have a possible wedding proposal right there coming through. So you could marry Scott Crane's sister. So yeah, what's up? But the thing is, a lot of people have bad relationships with their siblings.
Oh yeah.
So this could be a trick there. You're an only child.
That's right. I am an only child. Kind of wish I had a brother. My sister. Like
that'd be hilarious. Imagine you and your brother hosting this show.
No, I think it'd be a bit too much. I think. No, I don't know about that.
All right, let's just go on here as the market is really starting to get into what city?
Tank City.
There we go, Tank City. There.
That's the first time I caught it.
This guy's good right here, man. This guy's good. Neil, man, watch out now. But you're coming back in here into 94 one more time into the market. So, hey, if this market fails, I told you, we're at a very, very close spot. We either break this or we retest back to 14,000. I feel like this is the moment right now, watershed moment here for the market. Either gives it up or not. I mean, it's just that simple. And if we're going to barcode the rest of the afternoon, that is also a possibility. But you're right now at a key spot for the NASDAQ. Will it hold these levels? That's why we're going to try to hold on, bless you, for this. And look at BAC right there. Here we go, little Turkish delight. What did we say was our risk here? 5 cents. So there it is. We take out 20% for 5-cent win. So we take out 5 cents there on BAC. It doesn't seem like a lot, but just as I told you, let's see if we can get 90s. Let's see if we can get 80s. But right there, BAC taken out right there for, it's 5 cents, man. But that was our risk. Our risk was up here, and I have my stop order in already. 39.06 actually was my stop. So we risked 6 cents. We'll take 5 cents out for the first piece. And again, it's just your style of trading, baby. Here we go. BAC to the downside. What's up, Brendo?
Of low flow type names getting some mentions on Reddit right now. One of them, ATER, up 10.5% on the day. Talking about a short squeeze potential in ATER. There's also INDO. We mentioned this morning had a big move up to $30 again for INDO. 1.3 million shares on the float for this one. But INDO, an energy name, starting to move, guys.
Some of these energy names get crazy. It was IMPP, I believe, on Thursday was a name I was looking at that never really got going. This name has possibilities as well, IMPP, to start going. So if you looked at this level, again, all the way to the downside, look at some of these craziness here, 750 or so. This is Imperial Petroleum, and this name has a chance to go as well. But right now you are on some of this daily, that's the daily range, sorry. Where's that minute chart that I just had here? You are on some of the bottoms right now. Obviously the bottom of the day was made back here, I believe anyways. Let me zoom back out. Yeah, so nice little move. Oh, that's here. That's what happened to me on Friday. Boom, and quickly out. Right now you're trying to build out some levels, but I guess it's not a clearer until 130. That INDO, did you have that one up? Because that was another play here on NASDAQ. Oh, it's not NASDAQ, maybe it's Amex. Amex right there. What did I just got in and out of something there. Ooh, BAC just got taken out to the upside. So just as much as we talked about getting, making that money on BAC, there it is, in and out right there. So actually a losing stock right there for me. BAC looks like it wants, now it's just going to float around. So we actually get out there. I think I got 05s, actually not 06s there. But still, lose the same penny that we made, but actually lost on 80% of it. So BAC, we'll flush ourselves down the toilet and go, Mamma Mia. Tony, this reminds me, controversy time. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, I think it's a bit overhated, but would I ever do it knowing nothing about it? To me, that's like putting bananas on pizza, dude. I don't know if I would. I mean, what would you put on
Have
your
you ever heard of anyone putting bananas on pizza?
Me personally?
No. Have you ever heard of people putting pepper or pineapple on pizza?
That I have.
So not a great analogy, but the thing is that I think you should try it.
Really? You like it?
I do. I like Hawaiian pizza. Yeah.
Like Hawaiian pizza?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You can put it with the pepperoni too.
Maybe something.
We have a good friend, Neil and I, and Neil will admit this, 100%. We have a good friend that eats pepperoni with pineapple.
Ooh, got it.
A good friend. So that's a possibility for you right there. And I would say, no, I would not equate right now pepperoni or pineapple to bananas. But you know what I would equate to? And let's go. Maybe a little fruit salad action coming through right now as I've done my fruit salad from the morning. But look at Twitter. Hello, this move just right now, Brendan, and I don't know if there's anything here again on this, probably not, but a sharp move to the upside against the futures right now. So there goes Twitter. We're now in the money, $1 and change, as this is starting to go up to the high side right now through 48 and now up to 48.25 as Twitter right now making that march, man. Yes, sir. Twitter, work it, Twitter. And look what's happening right now to your boy AMD on the downside. Holy Tony, this is becoming quite a nice day for us one more time here. As AMD, 60 cents in the money. This is a possible new entrant to Tank City right now. We'll take out a sum here at 90. There it is. We get a little bit out at 90 as AMD is starting to come down for you. So 2 trades I've taken for you right now. AMD to the short side, boom, that's $1. And Twitter to the long side, that's also $1.
Wow.
So 2 for 2 here in the afternoon. And then the only thing left we got to do here, well, we did lose on BAC. So, we talked about that. We did lose on BAC. But right now, the only name left for me to get back into right now is going to be Facebook. I really like this one. We're still $1 in the money from my first buy down here. Again, that was once the NASDAQ flipped over. I'm debating right now reloading this at 210.50 or so, right just a little south of VWAP. But is this market going to give up the ghost the rest of the day? That's really all that matters.
Markets today tanking to the downside just a little bit. My Facebook trade now actually in the money. I was short at 211.54, now at 210.86. So I'm close to being $1 in the money myself on this name. Again, I think the downtrend here is just a bit too strong. So when you're buying on the Qs, if you want to buy in at this level, I'd be a little bit careful because again, the market's looking really, really weak. Back to BAC, I know that was your trade. Yep. BAC is something I'm always looking at, not just at this job, but buy it as a bartender as well, something I always got to be careful about before I serve somebody. But this thing looking pretty, it was moving to the downside just a little bit earlier here, and it looks like we're trying to rip back up just a little bit. You got out at 39.04, I believe now it's at, trying to break back up to the upside high of day today, 330. I think it's fading from there. My opinion, I think we should go to the downside just a little bit, but I don't know if I'm sure enough to trade it. Mark.
What kind of percentage, what's your favorite setup? For trading? Is there something that maybe I give you 5 minutes, you could find a chart, something that you really like? Because I know there's a lot of people out here that they know the kind of setups that I'm looking for, and I feel like they know, how Neil trades. But do you look for momentum in a name? Do you like to trade your own book, meaning you like to trade stocks that you've really done research on? How does that work? A day in the life of Tony trying to screen for stocks.
For me, that's a good question. As you know, I'm like king of bag holding here. If you look at my portfolio, it's items like CRTX, which I keep mentioning a bit too much on the show, but this thing's nearing 52-week lows, so that's unfortunately not very good. Ideally, though, I do like the mean reversion setup strategy, which works a little bit better for certain commodities, and I'd say the foreign exchange pairs compared to something like an Apple. For an Apple, this thing, you kind of just buy and hold. Maybe you see it down on a day or something, and you get into it a bit later. You hold it for a long term. This thing's not going to move against you, even if it does short term, because Apple always breaking new all-time highs. You look at something like the euro-dollar. This thing's been really volatile, I think, in the past recent few months. But if you look back, there's certain periods where, a pair like this just moves back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Very good for range-bound trading. And I like predictability because with momentum trading, I always end up taking profit a little bit too early. Like I said, I got diagnosed, terrible paper hands. So, for me, I like to know where I want to know where my outs are. I don't want to be missing out on anything. And so for something like euro dollar back over in 2018, 2019, something like this looked really, really predictable to me. Very tight, range here. If it broke, you got out. But this thing was just so consistent, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So, if you want to, swing trade this, day trade it, anything was a possibility. But I think knowing your instruments is very important. Not all setups work for all, instruments. Not all pairs, not all cryptocurrencies. So, you know, you do you, and it's different for everybody based off of what trading setups you like and what stocks you like to look at. So pretty much that's a little bit summary of how I look at stocks, or I guess instruments. So
yeah, no, that's, I mean, honestly, that's why we asked the question, because I just want to say what's up to Astralis Lux. I feel like I should know what that's from. Do you know what that's from?
Astralis Lux.
Anyways, I figure like we should figure that out. Maybe put that in the chat. But he says he likes this combo of me and you, an experienced trader with the newest trader. And that's why I'm asking you these questions, man. Not any answer that you have is wrong. It's just like, what are we looking for? What kind of setups are we trying to play? And here we go. We averaged into Facebook right now. We took that dip. I'm just waiting for a 210.50 break. If we break back below there, then we'll get out of this trade. But I think this is well worth it here. The market, we know that Facebook is a little long. That's what we were looking for. We were looking for break longs. We got beautiful trade there. Like if I just held everything, that would have been like 250 in the money there for Facebook. So I really feel like this is well worth the risk one more time. And look, we could lose on this trade. I mean, wow, Twitter's at 48.50 right now. Like, talk about cashing in here in the midday on the late show. I think that's definitely worked out for us. But I'm going to hold Facebook back here just in case, guys. If we break below, I'll give you my exact out right now, 210.30. So if we break below this little level right here, which is 210.50, that wick is 210.45. A little lower than that. Right down there is 210.20. I don't respect that wick. But here it comes right back in. One last chance here for Twitter. For Facebook. Sorry, not for Twitter. And we're on the bid to get longer right now. So we're going to get longer at 70 or so as the market's fading back in. We're definitely cashing in right now. Like we're cashing in on AMD. We just took a beautiful trade there. Almost, that's 80 cents worth of a trade. Now let's see if this can come back in. It's kind of a hedge against this Facebook long, but really I'm trying to get longer right now, Facebook. So I believe more in the long right now than I do the short, although the NASDAQ is below the 50 period. So this is a little sketchy trade for me right now, but hey, in sketch, I have faith, and I also have faith right now with Ms. V bringing the goods. What's up, Ms. V?
Hey guys, I hope you're all having a great time, and remind you to like this video. We really need your support, and likes help us to improve YouTube algorithm. So please, 3,200 people watching us right now, double check you like this video and support the team. And now let's go to Brandon.
All right, a few people talking about ATER, wondering where that mention came from. It was Benzinga, guys, that was reporting that. Here's why, or here's possibly why. This is the most recent short interest data on ATER. Basically at all-time highs right now, 9.8 million shares on the short side, which is a healthy 15.8% for ATER. So it was Benzinga again reporting that, getting lots of mentions on social media, guys, for possible short on ATER. Short squeeze, that is.
Yeah, guys, and thanks for all the nice talk there. Yeah, I mean, me and Neil, look, we go back to, honestly, I was going to say grade 7, but it could be grade 8. So we've been really good friends now. I mean, I'm only 24, 25 years old, so that grade 8 wasn't too long ago. My kids say to me, I say, oh, you know, they say, Daddy, you're getting gray in your beard. And I go, nah, it's just like makeup from the show. You know, but then they get me because out of the shower, they come over and inspect, and they say, you forgot to. But anyways, they're not that dumb anymore. They used to be gullible into that, but no longer there, Tony. So, but yeah, I was just going to say, we go way back, and you and I go back like 3 months. How long have you been here?
Yeah, just over 3, I guess, 3 in a week. So,
amazing how well you're doing. So a shout out to Tony and shout out to everybody there on the chat too. Thanks for bearing with us as we work through, obviously, some host changes. Nothing permanent.
Nothing permanent.
Nothing permanent, because I keep trying to flash the contract at Tony, but you've got bigger fish to fry. So we want to definitely thank Tony and definitely thank you for filling in, man. Arun will be back with me tomorrow. So is that sad for you?
No, it's, believe me, this is a great job. And let me tell you, well, it's a great job, but it's a tiring job. And it's a very respectful job. When I was there filling for Prad last Wednesday, last Thursday, believe me, I looked energetic like on a stream that's after like 3 Mountain Dews. And right afterwards, I was like dead. I was just like, you know, lying on the floor there. I was like, I can't talk, I can't move. It's, you know, you're talking for 3 hours. It takes, you know, it's pressure on the diaphragm. So big shout out to Prad for hosting the midday movers every single day. Sean, Neil, talking for most of the mornings, most of the evenings. Believe me, 3 days in, and I'm like pretty tired. I got to go home and just take a nap. So I'm not sure how you guys do it, but it's been absolutely incredible to be on today. Can't wait for Rune tomorrow. And what I can say, I always wondered what it'd be like if I was on the show for a day, and now I know. So big thanks to everybody, and thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem, Abe. I mean, my pleasure. As soon as I knew that we had a little mix-up between Arun and Neil, I was like, I'm pretty sure Tony will fill in, and you're doing an absolutely fantastic job. And oh, you mentioned Mountain Dew there. I was going to say, Facebook right now getting spicy. This market is falling to the downside, so we are going to watch out for this tap out in Facebook. And like we said, man, you got to be very, very careful. You never want to give back everything that you've made on one move. So, I mean, I could hold Facebook all the way back down here to 208 if I really wanted to. But see, we did cash out, and it was funny because it started to go up into the money, and you're like, I don't know about my Facebook short. And I was like, nah, do you? Because you never know what's going to happen in this market. The market has been short the last couple of days heading into the close. So although we do have a little bit of a hedge on with AMD, we have an overweight position now in Facebook compared to that AMD because, again, wasn't really expecting this kind of a move now in the futures. But like I said, we are at that make or break point right now, and it looks like we broke. So it looks like we're coming back down in now. So we will have to change up. What time is it? 3:13? Okay, still lots of time left in the day to go find some shorts. But I'm going to hunt out Facebook for now. We will slip up on this one. We are long right now. I don't consider it a slip up. This is a position that we want. It's funny when I say that. You know how many pennies we're out? 20 pennies right now out of the money, and I'm a little nervous about it. But let's see if it goes back up to the upside right now. We do have our out. Basically, we're that wick down to 210.50. We're going to give it a little bit more room than that, and that's a good advice too, I feel like. If you're ever looking for an area of support or resistance, Tony, you never get it out. Like if you're going to go short Tesla in front of 1,000, where should your out be?
999? Or maybe no.
No, if you're short, you're short.
Oh, sorry. If you're short, you want
to be wrong.
Yeah, so you're shorting at 1,000. So I guess when it breaks above, I guess when 1,001, when it breaks the level you don't like it, you just punch out immediately, limit your losses. Or did I didn't.
No,
catch
you didn't screw that up. No, that was fine. That was a good answer. To me, I would say I like to give it a little bit more because the terminology that we're looking for is slippage. So
right.
What could happen is a trader like anybody could have 1,000 shares of Tesla. So the problem is when it breaks 1,000, they might be getting out. But in order for them to get out, they're going to have to market it up.
Right.
So what happens is all of a sudden that 1,000 becomes 1,004 real quick. But it might have just been on one or two big orders. Right? And so the problem is that if you get out with them, it could come right back in. And if you're not quick on the keys, then that's where you might not be able to flip it over right now. And here we go. Now Facebook is starting to say, okay, Sean, maybe you're onto something here. And let's get some out now. I mean, this is how I trade. So we're going to try to trade like a little bit of a maniac here and get this position out if we can, as Facebook just ripped up to the high side. I just littered the offer here with offers all the way. So let's see if it fills it back up and we start to get some out. Because right there, we just go, oh yeah, that's okay, Tony, because guess what? We're reloaded now,
Reloaded.
Tony. We reloaded it up, and now, hell yeah, as we're turning our day around, and, you know, pretty happy about it. Let's keep going upside right now with Facebook, and then we can just sort of massage this, because AMD is still a little lower. I'm going to actually take one more piece out of AMD, and let's ride with... You guys want to ride with the long or the short here in the afternoon? Maybe we should put a poll up. Will we turn positive or negative here? I'm going to try to ride with the long. I feel like the long might be the way to go. So let's just... Let's hold out a little bit more on that thought, though, because Twitter has come right back in. Twitter, we were just laughing at 48.50. Then I guess you and Elon must have pulled your bid or something, because now we're coming all the way back into 48. Watch out for this 48 break right here on Twitter. But right now, yeah, Apple, we're going to look at Apple, but Facebook, nice couple outs there as we retrace all the way back, almost up to the 50 period, getting some out there, 211, 211, 211 out on Facebook off of these 60 reloads. So, yeah, that was a good one, man. We were in trouble there a little bit, and then Facebook came back to life. Go ahead, Tony.
Well, your gain is my loss because I'm still short Facebook, luckily still in the money, but no, I think I'm holding short on this. Playing good cop, bad cop, you're going to be long on the day. I think we're short. I think the markets are a bit too overextended for me personally until I see a definite bottom. Looks like we kind of found the top over there. So I'll be a little bit careful, you know, when I'm going long. But again, Facebook, I think I'm going to hold that short towards the end of the day. But the trade I do want to talk about, Twitter. Right here, I said this might be a little bit range bound. This was the level I drew. If you look where it opened pretty much on the 14th of April, pretty much tested 48.50. That was the open, that was close to the open, that was the high of day. Hit that level, now right back down, 40 cents from the top. We're trying to, 48.50 today, that was precisely the high of day. And now as soon as we hit that, right back down over here, my opinion is it's like until we kind of see like a lower low from this level of support, back over here around 47.70. We break that level, to the downside we go. But until then, I'd be careful, shorting this too hard over here. Again, 48.50. If you want to short, I'd say it's not a bad level. Just make sure you have your outs ready. Like Sean mentioned, a little bit of slippage. You got to be careful because the bookmakers, they can see where everybody's stop orders are. So, they might catch you on that where you see a wick, break above a level, and then 2 seconds later, right below again, once they took everybody's stop orders. So you got to be careful on that. But Twitter, overall, I am, short-term, short and long-term, pretty much short at this level as well until the news changes. Because it sounds like Twitter really, really doesn't want Elon Musk to be involved here, and they're doing everything in their power, adopting poison pills, trying to offer him board seats to make sure he doesn't get on, involved too much with Twitter. They don't want him to, turn Twitter into a DWAC. At the moment, we're just seeing what's going on over here, and in the short term, I want to be short on this name. Again, with the markets kind of turning sour, at least in my opinion, I think this is a good name to be short. But we shall see what happens to Twitter here, coming up in the power hour.
Oh, man. Yeah, good talk there. As I'm just talking with Liz a little bit here as we're trying to get some stuff ready for TikTok. I thought that security thing was pretty funny. So we're getting that lined up here. As we're trying to expose our viewers to a little bit more of what we're doing here. So TikTok, I don't know if that's going to be a good area or not, but we're trying to get some more viewers here. So thank you so much for watching once again today. And I think us going back and forth here, experience and not vice versa, I think means a lot to our viewers. So thank you, Tony, for that one. Apple, apparently, this was 45 minutes ago, their union in New York City asking for $30 an hour. That's going to be, I don't know what they're getting paid now, so I shouldn't really comment if that's too much or too little. I don't have experience working in retail, so I'm not sure, let alone a company for Apple. But I know here 30 is a lot for retail, but again, I'm not sure what that would be in New York. I know the obviously high cost of living there as well. And look, Tony, you and I have very similar positions here because I'm getting lighter on Facebook. I'm not sure it's going to hold this at all. We are getting close to a reload spot, so I think we'll try it one more time, but we have been getting out of some of these trades just for flat. Like, these are winning trades here. It's just for right now, we're just trying to lick our wounds and see what happens and go over to Brendan.
This Casa, guys, starting to go again. Remember this one this morning with a little bit of news. Was just double checking out. It's 31 million on the float for this, but we just went from 620 up to day highs there, 80%. Remember, deal with Verizon. So Verizon buying 10% of CASA this morning.
Right. I thought we had that this morning as well. CASA, a big mover on not necessarily new news, but when you have that up, why don't you call that up again? Because you did some good work on Casa there. Mi Casa, Su Casa.
Casa Systems today, wow, ripping. Just about trying to test 7, didn't quite break it yet, unfortunately, but new high of days today. This thing completely broke out in the last 10 minutes over here. Huge candles to the high side. I think if we break 7, this thing's off to the races here. Earlier in the day, I said if it breaks 7, I think the sky's the limit. Could be 7, could be 8, could be 9. I don't know where it's going to end up. If it's I wasn't quite aware of the news, unfortunately, but if this was a pure momentum mover and there's no number attached to what a buyout deal might be, or I'm not quite sure if it was a contract or a buyout deal?
I think they were trying to take a stake. So,
a stake?
I don't think they're trying to buy the whole thing.
Oh, then there's
Brendan, just put that story in the chat again and we'll repeat it. But I think it was a stake in cost. 10%?
Yeah.
10% stake. Yeah. Wow, that's a vote of confidence if I heard of anything like that. So Casa Systems today, I want to see us break high of the at the 7. I think I'm going to have a stop buy into the stock set around 701 or 702, maybe a little bit 703, just to account for slippage. But I think power hour, last half hour of the day here, this could get spicy. I'm curious to see if we do break that 7. I want to punch in immediately. That's my opinion on this Casa Systems stock right here.
Shout out to my man in Miami, the Playmaker. It's he said we don't speak any Spanish whatsoever here. A lot of people do in Toronto, that's for sure. But I do not. It's Mi Casa, Tu Casa.
Mi Casa, Tu Casa?
Yeah, so that's what he said. I might have just said something wrong there, but that's what he put in. And I trust the Playmaker, so shout out to you, Mr. Playmaker, and I hope all is well there. Stay safe, my friend, as we go. Okay, CEI, another name, Camber Energy. Obviously, with oil being pretty hot, we talked about that. It's down. Oh, you can't see it, but here's oil right now, down today, not down today, sorry, up today, 0.91. It was down on my screen. But there's that drop into the end of trading. Now, of course, you're just electronic trading, 107.92, not much really happening right now for oil. So you could see if Camber is going to move right now, it's going to do it by itself, which it generally tends to do. So right now, Camber Energy, which I believe last week was 70 cents. Yeah, there it is right there. Okay, not a bad guess. It goes down to the bottom of 70 cents there before ripping up. So again, if you were 70 cents back on the 12th and 13th, and today's the 18th, and you just got about 40% worth of a gain, maybe you'll come back in. So I just want to give everyone an idea here. 110, a decent short for Camber. I mean, even if you're in it, if you're just in it now, just think about taking profits every once in a while, because we've seen this name rip up here, then come right back in, and now it's starting to go again. So just watch out. The highs for Camber has been in and around this 150 area. So if you get up to there from $1, you're doing pretty good, man. That's a 50% return. I like that kind of a return. So watch out there for CEI back into 150. That could be definitely an area of concern. And one more time right now, I have to watch out for this Facebook trade, because we just got one more average in, and that's going to be the last one, because we allowed ourselves the ability to reload. We're getting out here. It came back into 210.50. Let's see if it supports that. 20 cents lower and we're out. Unfortunately, it'll be a losing trade, the last one we have on, but we've done really well on Facebook. Only one trade basically this long, exercised into there about $1. It did go about $2 there or more, and now we're just off some of these bottoms. Let's see if Facebook holds. Might not. Our out's going to be right now just breaking through 40. So watch out for Facebook here. We might get lighter. This market needs to start going upside here, or this is in trouble. So market upside now, pronto.
Talking about Facebook, the Qs here just went red a moment ago.
That's
the red. Now we're about flat here, up 0.04%, but just hovering around the flat area. Market's like a dead fish, just flopping all over the place. We're not a dead fish. Fish out of water, flopping up, flopping down. Can't decide where it wants to go. I feel like that's the market at the moment, and I'm still short because I feel like we found a top, a definite top here. We're back there at the highs, but I know we're kind of done with frustrating stocks today, but I just came to mind. You know what's really a frustrating stock in my opinion? The entire biotechnology sector. Of course, I heard a million times, but we just printed a new low of the day on, this is LabVIEW, so triple leverage biotech. I think the regular biotech, if we can do the math here, should be down nearly 5% there. S&P Spider Biotech Index down 4.76% today. You know what I think this is? Individuals like myself, we were so confident on so many of these biotech names. I wrote a lot of put options for the end of first quarter 2022, so that's April. This was this past Good Friday. Everything got assigned. I woke up this morning, I said, I didn't buy this stock. How did it get here? Oh, the person that bought the put option exercised because they didn't want that. So now I believe what happens is a lot of people trading biotech names in my position, they're getting margin called. They're seeing themselves, holding all these bags now. And not all of them are king bag holders like myself. So a lot of them probably decide to liquidate and completely flush out their entire portfolio of biotech. And here it is now, down 5%. And this is not the leveraged ETF. The leveraged 3X is down 15%. The S&P XBI Biotech ETF, we've fallen a long ways. This is, I don't even know how to describe this thing other than it's what biotech does to a person. You have to be careful when holding it. So this is really frustrating for all of the shareholders like myself. At some point, I feel like I would change my long-term thesis and start buying Apple, this S&P, the Qs index, as well as the maybe Microsoft, some maybe new core. I'm hoping someday I'll learn my lesson. But till then, I always just, you're the people's bag holder right here. That's who I am.
The problem. So the problem. I was just trying to watch my my Facebook trade here. It's just getting a little spicy, and try to maybe reload an AMD short. So let's just see how this all plays out over the next little while. The problem with your biotech, my friend, is the fact that cost of capital is getting so expensive. So it has really nothing to do with the companies that are in there. It's just biotech won't work in this environment because of the same reasons why some of these EV spaces won't work. It costs more to sit around and wait.
Absolutely.
So as an investor and you dump in a couple $1 million into some of these biotech names, you're expecting a return and a lucrative one. But now all of a sudden, when you can get X amount just from the 10-year or just by putting money into the bank, what happens is the expectation on those biopharma names actually take the other way around, because it's taking them longer to produce results for the investor. So people don't want to wait around. So they are exiting these trades now and not waiting for that breakthrough in a biopharma name, right? And so I think that's probably what's hurting you on that play. But still pretty young. You're still a young guy. I don't know if I like the strategy as an investment there. But if you're going to play the market, nothing wrong with dabbling in there, but I think you got it dead on. Start to pick up, you know, some of these you know, big cap names, because honestly, when I look back, I mean, this is why I have Apple at prices that are ridiculous. This is why my average price on Microsoft is still sub $50.
Wow.
You know, but it is wow. But the thing is like, I'm old. So when you're looking, I'm hoping that in 20 years, your Microsoft trade will look something similar to that. You might not like it now at 300, but I'm telling you, in 10 years or something, is Microsoft still going to be performing at these levels? We'll see. I think higher, and you got to have sometimes that outlook. So that's my advice there, and that's sort of what I was talking about with the biotech. So I hope that some of that resonates with you and makes a little bit of sense on that one. So yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for all that. And this is why, you know, Tony and I think make a pretty good team here. Talking back and forth. But what I was going to do is what goes up must go down. Boom. And there goes Facebook. It did take that level out. We tried. Really just my last trade is going to be the loser there. We were able to get, well, actually these last couple averages in because we didn't get everything out. So as it comes bleeding down, it's going to be net about a 50-cent hit. So that sucks for Facebook. We're still positive on the day for Facebook, but we did give back here, trying to chase this long. When I started the show, Tony, remember saying that, hey, perhaps we'll finish the day heading to the downside because of what happened on Thursday. So here it comes, right in. Good hold for you on that. The only problem is I didn't get short anything else. We could have crushed Rivian again. Rivian was great for us today. There's that initial hold all the way back down. Look at that short, first of all, 38.90. Our best out is 37.50, so that's $1.40. And then we got out when it broke VWAP right there. Turned out to be good, but should have been short again. I'm actually debating, we could probably go short Rivian right now, actually. We did a nice move down. We're starting to appeal, you know, come back up into VWAP right there of 38.30, 38.40. These are levels that I'm somewhat concerned about. So Rivian could be a little tick down here. Let's try a Rivian short, especially, I just like, is the market going to do that? What does the market look like here? We're still a little bit in no man's land, but we did like that break. I think Rivian short should be good. Yeah, let's go short Rivian, especially if we get a tick up here in closer to the 30s. I'm going to put a short on for Rivian.
Wow, Rivian. Again, I remember, you know, I was in my final year of college, I guess, which was a couple months ago. I don't even know if that was a good way to remember, but I remember seeing this thing at 75 was it, not that long ago, during the IPO. Everybody was talking about this, and now it's just come completely to the downside. We hit a high of like, 179 all the way back there. And that was like right after the IPO, back in November. People had Rivian fever back then. Now, holy, I don't even know what we're doing anymore. We're down 6% on the day, and I think Tesla's still up. So, you know, I think this level over here, at 37.23, this is a temporary support on the daily. I don't know how long this would hold. So, Sean, I really like that play there. I'm short on the entire markets. Q's now down 0.11%, 0.12. I think, you know, we didn't really know what we wanted to do this morning. We were, you know, going down, quick recovery. I think we had a double top over here at the 341 level. We decided not to break that. Now, flushing to the downside, I can't even count how many candles. Five 5-minute candles in a row. This thing's just been moving down, down, and down. My Facebook trade here has been quite profitable, I think. We're at 210, trying to break this level. I'm short at 211.54. So this has been $1.50, you know, in the money for me. So, you know, it's about time I turn profit on this, take profit on this. But I'm trying not to paper hands myself a little bit. I'm seeing absolutely no support here on the, you know, Facebook. My chart says still a short. My arrows says short this continually. So, you know, I don't want to, you know, kind of mess up my trading strategy here. I'm going to stay short. And one final thing, I've been seeing a lot of people put Casa in the chat. We broke 7 just now, but to what Sean was saying, you got to watch out for that slippage. The market makers, the bookmakers, they want to run up against you and just close you out at the worst moment possible. So a lot of people probably had a stop out, like they were shorting the stock, and a stop loss at 701, 702. Novices like myself, unfortunately, have been trading for too long. And so if I was in this trade short, you know, they'd take all my, you know, I'd close my position, terrible price, and now they're moving it back down a little bit. You know, 693, not too big a price difference from where we were, but we're still trying to test that 7 level here. If we start definitively holding above 7, I think that's a very, very bullish sign for Casa Systems right here. Again, I think this will be the play of the day heading into the close. Still half an hour left, and this thing's pretty much sitting at the high of the day. You know, I want to see where this takes us.
All right. Just wondering if my Instagram was hacked, but I don't think it has been. Okay, so right now we are now reloaded into the short of Rivian there. So yeah, some good talks and great trading there on Facebook. 2 thumbs up for that as you've been holding that short into this close, which has been pretty nasty over the last couple days. So I like that short. I like it a lot. Okay, so right into here, I'm still looking at Rivian. We just got that short in that we needed. We talked about getting that into 25, so we got it. We did push 17 earlier, but the thing is, the market's collapsing a little bit here, and Rivian's not really doing that. So is this a late bloomer? I don't know. But I do know that we do have $1 in the money right now on AMD, and I'm going to put a bid here in for Rivian just around here, like 38.05 or something. In case we get that move down, let's take a little bit of money off this trade and just hope that it continues to work downside right now for Rivian. So that could be a good one there. And I am trying to get shorter into AMD. It's just, it's not popping enough. It's not really giving me any sort of pops. Like, I don't expect it to pop back to 94. That would be incredible. But we've just started building this short. We have more bullets to fire, man. I mean, we can get out of this at any time and just start to take some more out. But I feel like it is continuing to go. Maybe a little bit of a reload there at that VWAP could have been something, and then an out a little bit higher. But I really like what you're working with right now. We could look back. Twitter's gotten a little bit away from us. We're almost out of everything. You could see all these outs right now. We do have that 10% left. I was going to give it back down a break of this level right there, 47.70. That never happened. So we're still into this Twitter long, which is still, hey, 70 cents in the money. I mean, pretty happy with it. Do we have a break long, though, possibly in Twitter? Let's have a look. That's the 50 period. I wouldn't mind going long if we actually took down this 48.10. So if we do take down 48.10 on Twitter, I think that's something to look at. We may even have a reload opportunity here. It's just the market's coming down. Like, I would right now, honestly, I like the reload for Twitter to go long. It's just the market is not going to give us it today. So it's not a good reload, but this would normally be a level that I like into some of this area. But it looks like we're breaking lower, and we should be getting out of this very, very soon. As here we go, man. We got AMD short as it's starting to push lower now as we just take that break low. So let's see what happens now with AMD starting to break lower. Let's get a little bit out, but AMD starting to work. Rivian's now a dime in the money. Let's just work this AMD trade. Short right now, 93.61.
Market's looking absolutely ugly. PayPal now broke under $100. People are asking me what trades I was taking recently. You won't see it on my screen, unfortunately. I don't know how to configure the little arrows up there. I have to take my word for it, unfortunately. But I just shorted Bank of America. I'm going to continue Sean's trade, unfortunately. He got stopped out there a moment ago, but market's now absolutely flushing. S&P down 1/3%. NASDAQ somehow doing a bit better than the S&P, now down 1/4%. So this can get really, really ugly into the close here. I want to see what the imbalance numbers sort of tell us for the 350 trade. But until then, you know, Bank of America, there's been how many 5-minute red candles here? Flushing lower, lower, and lower. Just broke 39 here. I'm short on this trade. I think I'm going to be short on the banks as well. Some of the stronger names, Nucor, still have 3% today. But even this is flushing a little bit to the downside on the 5 minutes here. Looks like we try to find a top here at 172. Breaking a little bit lower. I don't know if I want to short a name so strong as this, hitting new 52-week highs, or I should say all-time highs every single day. But even the best of the best, I think, isn't completely immune to market forces. And the market's right now turning a little bit ugly. So, careful with your longs there. That's all I can say. Long term, all these names, absolutely beautiful, stronger names, Nucor, Apple, Microsoft. Short term, looks like, we might see a buying opportunity in short time. So curious to see what that might happen in the last 25 minutes of the show here.
Yeah, we're just getting ready to put on some bigger positions here for AMD into the last. Well, see, the thing is, there's only 24 minutes left. Brendan, what you got?
There was a note, guys, from Fox Business on Twitter. They were suggesting that that was going back to this kind of breakout through 48 on decent volume. We're right back there, but they were suggesting that a number, they don't specify how many, but a number of PE firms are currently crunching some numbers on considering possibly joining Elon on his bid for Twitter. So we were wondering where the financing was potentially going to come from. So apparently a number of PE firms already doing some homework.
I mean, that's what we talked about earlier, right? Is that somebody else is going to come in, they're going to get this bid figured out, and if they have to bid higher, they have to bid higher for it. And I just feel like that's what's going to happen. Elon Musk is not going to have problems raising capital or anything for any of his ideas, I would assume, especially if someone could stamp like like he said there, on their firm, like, you know, partnered with Elon or something like that. It sounds like a good little ride there. So, yeah, good news on that one for Twitter. But again, not really affecting the stock, but it's good news. We'll look at that moving forward there. And I guess people said that, you know, 30 an hour is pretty good for Miami, or for Miami, for New York City. So, yeah, maybe that is what's deserving. I mean, the thing is, you need to be able to cover for your housing. You know, so 30 an hour times your 2,000 hours is 60 grand a year. It's not like good living, good honest living. But if you're going to be living in New York, especially, I mean, I don't even want to talk about downtown Manhattan or anything like that as far as rates are concerned. But you're trying to live in a decent neighborhood, 60,000, like that's 4, 5 grand a month. Right there. So, you know, by the time you're paying your taxes, your rent, food, things like that, let alone you have family. Yeah, maybe they're onto something with that. So let's hope that gets done. And let's just hope for everybody, honestly, out there, that wages can just generally increase. I mean, inflation is ridiculous right now. You made a good story there the other day where you bought something at, it was Tim Hortons, right? Your bagel used to be $1, and then all of a sudden it went up to like $1.30 or whatever that story is. And I think that's hitting the common person more than anything in food prices.
I'm seeing it firsthand, you guys. It's same with Burger King, my favorite. Even they raised the prices on me. At the King meal deal, you get 2 burgers, drink, and a fries. Used to be $5. I woke up one day, went there at $6. So inflation hitting the common man. It's you know, it's been a struggle for everybody. But you know, if your wages aren't going up and you got bills to pay, you got family to feed, you know, and the prices are going up over here. I haven't been to a supermarket in a while here. I don't know how to cook, so you know, BK and McDonald's are what I eat. But you know, I'd imagine it's even worse than what I've been hearing.
To try to get a girlfriend, you're like, you have to be like, I'm a wicked chef.
Ooh.
Oh, that's you got to say.
Thanks for the tip. Yeah. I got to say, I got to learn how to cook.
Don't say you don't cook. Don't say you don't cook.
My bad. I'm the best cook, guys.
There we go. Learning every single day. Shout out to you, Tony. And obviously there, people talking, hey, Super Chat, what's up? Thank you so much, D Queen there. Monopoly, Euchre, Spades. Yeah, we like all of these games right here. So, speaking of the devil, Candyland, I downloaded that for my kid. She was bored, so she started, Candy Crush is the game I'm talking about on the phone. You played that game?
I played it once back when I was a kid, but the game's been along for a long time.
I like that. Okay, Facebook, congratulations, Tony, because that name,
wow,
bang, nice move to the downside here. As we start to collapse, maybe that bubble has burst there right now as Facebook, we like the long. It's right back into a spot that I like again, but we're trying to still milk this short here for AMD. We took another name there. We got out in the mid-20s. I don't know. I'm still thinking that we can collapse here a little bit. So some low 20s, some mid-20s. Well, now we're in the mid-20s right now for AMD. So a new target that we just put on off of these shorts, trying to run this short into the close. We don't have Brad here, so when Brendan gets a chance, we'll drop down the financial juice number to see what's happening, because in less than 10 minutes, we do have the market on close imbalances. So we will look for that to tell you guys if it's a sell, which honestly, the market looking like a sell right now. I think some of these shorts should be okay for us here, Tony. So we will wait on that one. There it is, Brendan, right on it, 280 to sell. So again, we have no affiliation with that website, but if you did want to know where we got it from, Financial Juice over there on Twitter. Thank you to Mr. Wickens for that. Here we go, right back into the downside right now as AMD starting to collapse a little bit. We just stopped there at 93. I'm still thinking for this trade, honestly, target areas right around here. I don't want to say we got lucky, but we didn't take anything out when we started to make lows. I thought we were testing lower, so we just took a little piece out there and then watched it basically go all the way back up. And again, we're in a meeting for part of this, but came back in. So I want to try to respect some of these levels around 93 even. So I do have some more outs if we can get into 93 even, but right now it's trying to bounce a little bit. One more, flush to the downside. Hopefully we get 93 like 08s, 09s, something like that out here for AMD. As I'm excited, it's almost Raptor time.
Raptor time tonight. Hopefully they win versus the Phillies, I believe they're playing tonight. I wasn't too big a sports fan, unfortunately, but I think I might just have to get back into the game. Very interesting to see basketball. I used to be a huge Raptors fan. In my back when I was a kid, in my bedroom, there's a Chris Bosh poster. I think now he's playing for the Miami Heat.
Retired. But his last team was, he had heart, not palpitations, but a problem there with his, So what was it? Was it blood clots? Okay, anyways. No, he's fine.
Oh, that's good.
He's fine.
But,
He's fine.
yeah,
But he had to step away. But he's getting older. But yeah, Chris Bosh. Actually, my first jersey I bought for my kid was a Chris Bosh jersey.
Really?
So I like Chris Bosh, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Do you know he was drafted in the same year as all those guys, man?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dwayne Wade, all those guys. Chris Bosh was in there as well. Big year for those guys. So Carmelo, everybody. But shout out to Chris Bosh. Yeah. Apparently is. Blood clot. So good call there. Yeah. Oh, you said Phillies, but it's 76ers.
76ers.
It's the Philadelphia Phillies there. So shout out to Lenny Dykstra. You don't know who that is. So, okay, if Neil would know that, obviously. But, okay, it looks like the market's coming back upside right now. So we're still back $1 in the money. And like I was saying, man, it's too bad about that. It's too bad the market started to come down because if you remember, I was talking about 47.70 there as being my out, doesn't tick out. We don't have to worry. And look at that move right to the upside. So a monster move back to the upside for Twitter. Brandon brought us that news. Possibly, more and more lining up to figure out here what the right price is going to be, if Elon needs any more capital or anything for this kind of a deal. So right now, Twitter definitely making that move back up to day's high, and we have that $1 now in the money. I might just cash this out. Let's see where we go from here. But this 48.50, that's quite a nice move back upside. So I'm debating getting it out. But hey, if the market rallies into the close, we definitely want to have something else long. Rivian, nice cash out down there. Now making a move back down in. Let's take another piece out for Rivian. That's 20 cents in the money, RIVN. Might as well take another piece. I mean, it's a nice move down. We'll cross into 07 right there, and we will call on Mr. Brendan Wickens.
You're talking about Rivian. I was going to show you Lucid here as well, just popping back up, guys. 3.7 still to the downside, but a few buyers starting to come in. Not a huge story, but they opened their latest store in Boston today. So 3.6 to the downside for Lucid. Despite that news, there was also ATR. Don't say we didn't tell you so. 6.5 just taken out there, guys, on a huge volume spike for ATR.
Yeah, we called for Brendan about ATR, and that was good coverage there. And ATR spiking to the upside. The only trade that I had today that was of any significance like that would have been BBIG. But again, like this came in at 60 and came out at 55 break. So we were just trying to play some of that pre-market level. And since then, man, Vinco Ventures doing absolutely nothing. So the only real crazy runner type name that I had on today was BBIG. And then nothing came of that. Look at our Bank of America short, man. Wow, I can't believe we got out of that one. But we were trying to be disciplined, and we were. And now you're seeing that's down to the downside. So we also did call. That was another trade. We've only put on a few trades here. But that was another trade to the downside that's worked that we just, like you mentioned, Tony, we didn't put that back in the fridge, man. We should have put this trade back in there, let it, get to a nice temperature before. I don't want to steal all your metaphors here, but that was a good one. Back down in for BAC, so we should have let that one get going a little bit as well. Nile, I don't trade any stocks there, so anybody, Kamim there talking about that. I don't trade anything that's really sub $1. It's just not my style. But this ATER, again, another big name. Shout out to Fahad. I think he's maybe still, are you still in this one? No, he got out. Okay, so yeah, so a little bit, probably some FOMO on this, but there's the break of 620 coming back in. We did talk about this obviously on the show today, but it's come up a couple times. Look at the last few days there. 665, 650, and then today 660. So right into here, I think those look like pretty decent highs for ATER. The move may be over today, but definitely don't worry about a fade onto 660. We probably see that again tomorrow. That's a few days in a row that we've sort of tested those names. ATER, there it is right there. Bang, bang, bang. The same top was respected now for 3 straight days on ATER. So a couple nice little respected tops. Let's see if it comes back again. But if you're long this name, you don't get something out next time it's at 660, that would be my advice. So watch out for that. As there it is. Did we reload AMD? No, we did not. That's a shame too, because look what that's doing now. Ticking down low again. So let's put some more bids in this teens and get something out here for AMD as it started to tick lower here. Only 4 minutes away from those imbalances.
Oh, ATER. I was really rooting for this. I wanted it to break that 660 level and go to the high side. 664 was a high of day back on, I believe it was Wednesday. But, over here, just the resistance, unfortunately, just looking a bit too strong. Over here, it's pretty much do or die. We break it, and soar higher, or we kind of crash and use this as like the ceiling, crash on the ceiling, and just like fall right back down. Unfortunately, not looking so strong for us at the moment. It looks like we're printing a red on a 5-minute candle over here. I was really invested in this trade. I said, unfortunately, like this trade might just actually gap up after the weekend when people are starting to look at some movers again. They might this might get a little bit of excitement in the pre-market. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that happened today. We opened pretty low. We hit 516 today, but wow, what a reversal! This thing. You know, even if it doesn't break, you got to give it, all the traders credit for this. You got to give this Aderin a lot of credit for being such a comeback stock, I suppose one could say. And man, I was excited for this. I wanted it to go higher, hopefully test 7, maybe sometime today. But unfortunately, it looks like we're just cooling off a little bit at this level of resistance over here. In the long term, this has been a multi-day runner. I don't know if it stopped. The party stops here. This is the highest close we'll see, essentially since November of last year. Volume today, a bit less than what it was for the previous 2 days, 67 million we're looking at on a $6 stock. That comes out to around, about $350 billion or $1 million, sorry, traded there. And, unfortunately, this just looks like it's cooling off a little bit too fast. So, we might not break that 660 level today. But if we test it again, it's going to be another do or die moment for the market. If this somehow breaks 660 in the last 5 minutes, it's going to be a massive, massive play tomorrow because this thing might just soar to the skies.
Sort of the skies. I like that one. Good little pun there. AMD, yeah, shout out to everybody on the chat there that's saying about how AMD is now back to Friday's close. Of course, Thursday's close. But yeah, you are 100% right. And we just took some out at 93. So yeah, buddy. Again, very, very similar trading back-to-back days here for me as we continue to short AMD into the close. Our first position started at 94.60. And now you're down breaking through 93. So yeah, what a good day this has been, man. Good thing we decided to flip up our longs into these shorts as we only have a minute and change left before these imbalances come out, my man. So we're short here, and let's just hold it. I mean, my next, that's another, put some lower bids. If you're still into your Facebook trade, my advice would be put in a lower bid right now. You never know where this thing's gonna go. Excuse me, Rivian also, almost done another gallon of water today. So that's gonna be pretty good. 4 liters, AKA 1 gallon. Plus we ran and filled up a milk jug there as well. So, so far so good. Talking this much, you're probably gonna find out yourself.
Is that how much you drink? I never seen that before. What?
Yeah, one gallon, man.
Wow.
And I put the sticker on there.
Oh.
Trying to get healthy, man.
It's like the football players back in high school. They carry around 2 jugs of them, everywhere walking across the school. Forget a backpack. They're just holding jugs all day, walking around.
Exactly. Steroids. But okay, here we go. Only 30 seconds left into this move, and AMD is completely falling apart. Not only that, Canada, because we have Rivian as well. Rivian, Canada, doesn't really make much sense. We'll hit that tonight because why not? We are in lovely Toronto, Ontario. Okay, Canada, as we go. So let's go. My kid last night was getting a lesson from my wife because she was going, it goes like, country, province, and then city, and then he said town, but it's not accurate. So, all right, here we go. We're out right now. Pinterest with the big sell. Let's see what this market's going to do now as we go down. You probably, when you were living in the United States, did you even know about provinces?
Provinces? No, I mean, I grew up here in Canada, so I was aware of all that, but we use states there.
Well, I know. I was just wondering that as a kid, if they discuss Canadian geography in the States. But yeah,
we don't talk about that at all.
We don't talk about Bruno either. Look at this, a nice little move. Oh my God, there goes AMD. Oops,
Ooh.
We did it again, Tony. What's up, Brendan? All right. How dare you silence him, Fahad? Right there. Yeah, no, Brendan, we'll get back to him there when he gets that story back through. I don't know what that imbalance turned out to be right now. Are we fine on my... Can you guys hear me? Testing. I'm good, okay. Let's just go forward then. All right, just so you guys know here, downside move, obviously coming for AMD. What a big trade this has been. 94.60, 93.40, down. Down goes the market. Again, no idea what that. Oh, Brendan just gave it out. 1.2 billion right now to the sell side. So yeah, market's starting to explode downside right now. The Twitter's still working, man. I might just get out of this, the Twitter. We might as well get out of this one right now as we're near those highs. So let's just get out of Twitter and then honestly celebrate it, man. Twitter was one of my top stocks today. See, can we get a 25 out right there? Yes, we can. can right there. So we get that, or 24. We get that out on Twitter right there. Nice out for us after this, man. Short early and long late there for Twitter. So very nice as that cashes in. And then right here, Rivian also having a hard time breaking through 38. So a couple good shorts now. Back into our best out was 38. And right now, you're starting to go back to the upside. So we could definitely twist this off right now on Rivian and get out a few more shares now because honestly, it looks like it wants to just go back up to the upside. So now we have cleared everything up. What's up, B?
Miss V was nice enough to hand me her battery from her microphone so you can all hear me. So thank you, Miss V. DNA, which is DNA Technologies, out with some data there. So a big mover, went to 450 all the way back to 410. One of their latest technologies. This is another mRNA company, so one of their latest technologies. Not good, apparently, in the latest test there for DNA.
Sean, Casa for tomorrow? Okay. Let's look at Casa quickly here. We just got out some more AMD there. I don't know if we're going to flush now. We only have 8 minutes left. I'm just cleaning up all my stop orders and basically just getting out of some of these positions that we still have on board. CASA. Okay, so we didn't look at this today. I will look at this tomorrow. I promise. Today we were a little bit going crazy here in the morning because we got caught off guard a little bit. Everything worked out absolutely fantastic, and thank you once again, Tony, for coming through. But and Neil will get better, and everybody will come in to the office hopefully later on this week, including Pradley as well. All right, so yeah, look, barcoding at 7. This is actually a really good sign. I believe this will run in the aftermarket, run to the upside. So I think like right now you're barcoding, no one knows what to do, but when volume dries up, I feel like this goes back up to the upside there. And look at this big move, obviously, on the daily chart. We don't need to, look at this. But normally, there's a couple day follow through. So it's like, and this just goes by, I mean, if Dominic, if you're still here as well, multi-day runners exist. So this could just be getting going right now. And look at this bottom right there, 776. If you can somehow open above $8 tomorrow, then I think we do test 10. So, I don't know if we have another 77% in us tomorrow, but again, I'm looking for an open above 8 to get that really juicy and get that started to 8. So yeah, I think it's, why not, man? You're starting to now take higher outs, 175 million shares, a lot of interest in this name. The only fear would be a share offering. That could come at any time, but you don't really base your trades off that unless you know ahead of time, and if you do, actually, don't let me know because I'd rather not get involved in all of that stuff. But right now, with only 5 minutes left, great show, great close. It looks like the imbalance is definitely sending this market to the downside. We can do a really quick look at them. We did this really quick. We threw over to Brendan, but there's not much on there. Just a BAC buy. Other than that, kind of a bunch of nothings on there. Palantir, name we didn't look at. Yuck, that's at $12 again. Okay, give it to us, Brendan.
I was just checking on pins. I saw it somewhere. It's the 27th, it looks like, for Pinterest. So anyways, let's get you caught up for earnings coming up tonight. Remember, tomorrow Netflix, and then Wednesday we get Tesla, but that's what's to come tonight, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I really like J&J. I mean, J&J is another name there for you, Tony. That should be going right into your portfolio. That's been about as consistent as it can go. Halliburton in the oil space, obviously another great name there. Look at OIH there as an oil service provider. And then, yeah, Fifth Third Bank. I mean, I think the banks would be hot for a while. They didn't have great prints, but they're definitely recovering over the last couple of days. So, yeah, big fan of the banks heading into this. I think it's almost time for me to put on a position there. So any thoughts on any of those names or anything you want to talk about? We only have 4 minutes left.
Johnson & Johnson, I would add that to my portfolio, farm related, but I think that's too strong a stock for me. That thing is just a low volatility.
Yeah, you definitely don't want strong stocks.
No, I'm the people's bag holder here. I'm holding clinical stage biopharmas, not solid, solid pharmaceutical stocks with consistent earnings and possibly even a dividend. Now at what, $500 billion market cap? No, I'm not into any of that. No. I only buy stocks to go down, guys. Come on. What I mean? But
yeah, then don't buy J&J for sure, as J&J's been working to the high side for sure. So, all right. So, how was your first day here, sitting beside me and practicing the big show?
I could say it's an opportunity I always wanted to sort of have. I was always curious what it might be like sitting here, hosting a show and all that. Being host, obviously, I don't know if I'd ever have an inmate to sit in your chair. Never, I would never. But I could say it's tiring but exciting. That's how I would describe it. Tiring, obviously, it drains your body a little bit. You're pretty much, when you're sitting in this chair, I feel like you're just pumped full of adrenaline, chock full of adrenaline, and you're talking and you're thinking what to say. You're looking at the chat. It's a lot more than just sitting down and trading. It's the thing is, it's like, it's just such a weird experience. Watching the show a few months ago, and now being on the show yourself, I can't even describe what it's like. But
Good.
It's tremendously exciting, but it's not something I could do every day. That's for sure. I don't think anybody can do it every day. I'm not quite sure how you, Neil, and Prad. It's an acquired talent. I'll say that because it takes some serious stamina to last here all day. So I'll say.
Well, we couldn't have done this without you today, so thank you so much, Tony, for sure. Look at this Halliburton chart, man. I was just like calling this up, and I mean, I knew it was super strong, but honestly, I didn't realize it was this strong. I mean, this has doubled since January. So since the first of the year, it's up 100% year to date. So again, when you're looking at this, man, it's going to be a strong stock in it tomorrow. So just watch out for Halliburton, up that 2%. Just a great name here. And as de-escalation apparently does not exist over there in Russia, this name could continue to work, especially if oil and gas and all that keeps going to the high side. So Halliburton right now, wow, what a monster move up there. As I'm just trying to look for some other names. Twitter, we got out. That seems to be a mistake. Twitter right now just ripping higher and higher and higher now into the close. Looks like we're going to touch 49 bucks. We just got out there at 48.25 just before the imbalances. I'm completely fine with that. We only had that 10% left, like we said. So give up a little bit of coin there into the end. And then you might be watching this. I'm pretty much out of everything here. We had a little bit of shares left over. I thought we were going to get them all out there, but we didn't account properly. So we do have some shares left here in AMD as it's starting to go back up to the high side. But right now, yeah, a good close. We'll have Miss V on the bell here. And yeah, we did not. Oh, did we get green? Ooh, almost. Ooh. Well, we'll save that for Brendan. He's going to drop that up to us soon, but right now it's only 0.3 to the red side. So what an exciting day here as we get ready to close it off. AMD, normally I'd short this move right into here, but you only have a couple minutes left. So AMD, don't want to play with fire here into the close, but a possible short if you are on this name. I think it's been pretty strong today. The market did have a chance to close red. Whether or not we do or not doesn't really matter. It's a nice bounce off that bottom here. So I'm pretty positive heading into tomorrow. I believe AMD can be held for a swing long, as can Facebook. So those are two positions that I like for the swing longs there. I've been looking long all day on Facebook. It definitely worked. Facebook just came right back up, Tony, all the way to that level one more time. So I believe for swing plays, AMD and Facebook should be able to work. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. We'll get out of these positions to close out the day. What a great afternoon it was for us. A couple nice wins, including BAC to the downside, AMD, Rivian. Everything worked out really well for us. So with only 20 seconds to go, let's get out of our positions.
And I'm seeing Casa, people are spamming in the chat. It just broke $7, moving to the upside. Same with ATR, pretty much testing intraday highs here. It's a spicy close, and after hours is going to be great today, I think.
All right, let's get ready to go as the countdown is on right now. So let's get this counted down. We only have 7 seconds left. Do we have Miss V on the bell? Yes, we do. There she is. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. All right, and that closes out the day. Another successful day here for us at tradertv.live. I'm not sure the market's got green or not. Let's go over to Brendan and find out, how do we finish up?
Call it. I'm going to call it green, Sean, at least for the NASDAQ anyways. Everything else not so good, but hey, we got there just. 0.09 for the NASDAQ, 0.4 for the Dow, basically flat for the S&P as well. So we went up, we went down, we came back to essentially where we started overall, which is, I guess, kind of constructive considering what happened last week.
Yeah, pretty good day, a pretty good battle back for sure. So I think that was definitely the close you want to look for if you are a bull. You closed off the bottom. You even get a stock like Apple bouncing again off that 164, almost clean up $1 in the last 15 minutes or so. So a great move upside for a lot of those names. AMD, a nice move upside. Nice, beautiful move upside for Facebook, which we absolutely love this name. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for Google to come out. I know that's not tomorrow, but there's a couple big names that are coming that are really, really going to, it sounds crazy to say this, but it's going to shape the summer. Like, if these companies can report well and guide well, then I think we have some big upside moves coming through. So I want to give a big shout out today, and we'll wrap this up. And the trade of the day is coming after. It's going to be Apple. We definitely switched up our game plan on that today. I want to give a big shout out to both Luca and Brandon, who did amazing on the afternoon show. Thanks for filling out for sure for Prad. That was great. And Ms. V, of course, wow, held all 3 shows. So you think what we're doing is a problem. Yeah, Ms. V's got it big time as well. So thank you, Ms. V, for that. Welcome back, Brendan. What was it like your first day back?
Happy to be here. Very exciting. Obviously, it's going to be an interesting week. Lots to get to for earnings. And hopefully, guys, the market holds up a little bit.
Yeah, it will. And I'm going to be now having to buy you some drinks, Tony. So very excited for that. We'll tweet that out when we go out there. And then also, like, I love when Brendan comes back, but look at his hair again. Like, this guy's immaculate. Like, does not miss a beat. So
I had, Sean, I had COVID last week, so I had to wait until yesterday to go get a haircut. So
you're looking
problem.
You had to wait an extra 3 or 4 days to get a new haircut. Jeez, the problem is my hair doesn't grow that fast, so I don't have a problem with that. I am looking to get a haircut, though, Tony. I wish I had a mop like you, man. You could do anything with that thing. But a big shout out. We've already said a shout out to Valeria. Shout out to Brendan for being back. Get well to everybody out there as part of the Trader TV Live team. Thanks to Fahad. Thanks to Lucas. Thanks to Maggie running around a lot today as well. Thanks to Liz in the background. But we did turn positive, and I think tomorrow's going to be a big day. So for everybody here at Trader TV Live, stay tuned for our Trade of the Day. And ciao. We'll see you tomorrow, 8:30. See ya.